Raleigh be placed on the IL after experiencing side soreness. The team's hoping to avoid a stint for their all-star catcher, who spoke with reporters yesterday and said he was feeling a bit better. The team's being cautious. Raleigh was a late scratch from Saturday's game and not in Sunday's lineup. As of yesterday at 11 a.m., the team was still awaiting results from imaging. The Mariners open a series against the Braves today at 6:40 p.m. Atlanta is one of the hottest teams in baseball right now, 8-2 in their last 10. They will, though, be without Ronald Acuna Jr., currently on the 10-day IL.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Well, it was a beautiful weekend, weather-wise. So that's good. What is this camera situation? This is crazy. You know what
That's
was
the
happening?
real disparity between the two of us.
If you're looking at the screen right now, this is objectively. This isn't the real height disparity between us. No, it's not.
If we stood up, that's probably what it looks like, Stacey.
Really?
Yes, maybe worse than that.
No, it doesn't. Brady, have my back here.
I don't think I'm the best person to have your back, considering if I was standing in there, it'd be worse.
Oh, God. Well, now you're talking on the stream, and now you're next to me. Thank you, Matt. Also, it's a reminder you can watch us on the Seattle Sports stream on
We wearing
YouTube.
the same color shirt?
Oh, my God. This is so exciting.
We did it.
I always am so excited to match with you and Curtis. You and Curtis have too many overlaps with your closets.
We do.
You guys match on accident all the time, and I get big FOMO constantly.
Well, we in this now.
We
in this. Let's go.
Like I said, it was a beautiful weekend at the very least. Randy's, the jersey retirement ceremony was very cool. Speech was awesome. Announcement of a statue. Let's see, what else? Soft serve. You had some soft serve on Friday. That was great.
That was my first time.
Let's see, what else was good? I guess that was it. Everything else was bad.
Nah, there's some good in there.
Yeah.
There's some good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have anything.
Man, Julio had a decent little series other than a mishap out there.
Friday, fine. Let's talk about it. What's most wrong with the Mariners right now? And I do want to preface this by saying
it's tough.
It's early, and I know that everyone's getting annoyed with me, but I feel like I have to say that because inevitably there will be someone that texts in going, "Oh my God, who cares? It's May." Preface, it's May. Okay, now I want to talk about what's not working. Now can we dive into a conversation, please?
Yeah, it's tough. I spent a lot of time last night trying to look at the numbers and then look at the actual play. Like, because, numbers don't lie, but they don't necessarily tell you everything. And what I gather so far is that obviously you didn't get – the Woo start was weird. It was weird because he starts and he's getting lit up. Then he settles down. He settles down for a little bit. It's like, okay, I got lit up. But I'm going to settle down for a few innings and give my bats a chance to kind of get back in this. And then he ends on the sour note, giving up another bomb or two to end that thing. So I'm like, all right, look, hey, Woo, back-to-back, not the greatest starts, but there was a few innings where it's like, all right, bats, I'm calm now. Go ahead and help me out. It felt like just the bats weren't helping him out there. In game two, Julio does his thing. Emerson sits down 14 of them things, but your bats just aren't able to really get going. Then you get to that third game, and Castillo retires the first 6 batters. I'm like, yep, Castillo, he's back.
I thought so, too.
Let's go, baby.
I almost texted you guys and almost said it would be objectively funny if Castillo pitched a no-hitter.
Right. So then you're like, boom, he's back. Let's get going. And then the inevitable happens. You give a few runs, and your bats aren't able to get going. It's just weird. It feels like.
So for you, it felt like 3 different things on
three
different
things.
days.
It feels like Emerson did what he was supposed to do. You sit down 14, the bats don't help. Woo starts off bad. There's a gap where he gives you an opportunity to kind of help him out. End of the day, doesn't get going. Castillo is a different start. Retires 6 batters, and then things start to happen. I've said this before. It's just we're just not connecting the dots quite yet. So then I'm like, I'm digging. I'm digging for numbers right now. I'm like, all right, what's going on? I look at runners in scoring position. All right, that's something that the Mariners seems like every year since we've done this show, we've always had a conversation about that. They're 27th overall in batting average. They're 22nd on base percentage.
With runners in scoring position.
Runners in scoring position. 27 slugging, 26 OPS, and 30th when it comes to just hitting doubles or whatnot. Runs scored, they're 26 with 97. So, look, it's it feels like the same old thing. And then you bring in just those little mishaps. Then you have an error per game, right? An error per game. And coming into this, they weren't that bad when it comes to errors per game. I think they're like top 10 or something when it comes to that. They give or they convert or complete the least errors, right? So I'm looking at all these numbers, and I come back to the same thing I've been saying about this team when they get in slumps like this, is that no complete games. They're not connecting the dots. It's never completely clean with this team yet.
Okay, so what's most wrong with the Mariners right now? You said, look, the fact that I can find a different biggest problem on each of these 3 games tells me they're just not playing complete games. What's most wrong is that several things are wrong. Okay?
Yeah.
I think now on Sunday, entering Sunday, when we did not have an update for Cal Raleigh, and we still don't know whether or not he's going to go on the IL. But when there wasn't an update at all, I thought, I think this team's biggest problem is that, like, what if Cal's done for the year? Right? Was I the only one thinking, like, what if this is going to be really ominous? It was weird, right, Brady? Was it not weird? It was a weird vibe. Super cagey
Very
answer
weird.
from Dan Wilson on Sunday night. Not only does Cal get scratched, but then you call up a AAA pitcher, which you would have needed anyway. If Cal wasn't going to be playing, if he's not pinch hitting, if he's not your emergency catcher, no matter what, you can't enter the game with just Garver. Got it. You're not going to pit Leo Rivas at catcher. Like, it is what it is. But then I thought, like, ooh, then there's these reports Ryan Bliss is in the clubhouse. Like, Cal's definitely going on IL, but how serious is this going to be? And then Sunday morning rolls around, and Dan does his press conference. Cal speaks with reporters, and it sounds like it's not as bad maybe as we had initially feared. No IL stint yet, still waiting to make a decision, and in the meantime I would not expect him to be playing today either, but no serious thing. So my answer yesterday prior to all of that would have been, oh, your biggest problem's Cal might be done. Like, your biggest problem's injury. You don't have Donovan out there. Bryce Miller isn't out there yet. He's still making his rehab starts, looking good, set to return by mid-May, but who knows what that's going to look like. Like, your biggest problem is that you're not healthy. But my answer's different now because Cal is not as serious, and I don't know. It's just that was carrying a big weight there. Now I think it's defense.
Yeah.
I think that might be my biggest answer right now, my number one spot, because I loved the way Mike said it this morning on with Brock and Salk. You can't really control who gets hurt. You can control defense. And even if part of defensive struggles are roster construction, another part of it isn't. And that's the part that's driving me crazy.
You look at their fielding percentage, it ain't that bad. It's just like the timing of these things, right? The actual results of the error or the mishap. Right, because their fielding percentage is still like top 7 or something like that.
A lot of that load.
It is, but the numbers, that's what the numbers say. He can carry the load, but the numbers still say that they're a better defensive team. The numbers still say that they don't commit a lot of errors typically. Now, if you isolate it to this series, then yeah, the numbers are going to tell you something else. But for like the duration of the season, that's not who they've been. I think that because we're so used to them being better defensively when they do make those mistakes, and the way that it looks too. I think the way it looks has a lot to do with how we're taking these mistakes, because some of them look silly. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them look like I'm out there trying to field the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I do. And it makes me, or my opinion, makes the public feel like they're worse than what they are. But these last 3 games have not been good.
From the 253, I'm starting to believe this team will not succeed this year. I don't agree. I'm not there yet, but I am to the point of getting too routinely frustrated for a team that should be much better. On paper, let's go to defense. On paper, you entered the year going, oh, man, Josh Naylor is an upgrade from Rowdy Tellez at first, which is where you were last year. You're going to have Julio in center, best defensive center fielder. Arozarena is going to have some defensive liabilities, but Robles will be healthy, and he's so athletic, and maybe the platoon with him and a healthy Luke Raley will work out. Okay, feeling good. Let me look around the diamond. Brendan Donovan at third, first time being there. But on the other hand, like, you know, a better bat than a rookie would bring you, so defensive subtraction there made up for with offense. Like, you felt good about it. And then the season started, and you're like, okay, Cole Young, thanks, appreciate it. Cole and Cal and Julio, I know that recently it looks bad, but have been fine defensively, especially Cole's been stellar. But, like, it hasn't been enough. And I also don't think it helps that JP committed that error because I think that people are just constantly going to be looking at JP. And unfortunately for JP, every time JP messes up, there's going to be this internal, like, checklist that people are keeping in their brain going, would Colt Emerson have done that? Would Colt have done that? Now, I can, till the cows come home, talk about how JP has big league experience and has faced big league pitching, and it's not fair to simply do this like side-by-side comparison with a AAA guy, a prospect, and a guy who's been in the leagues for this long. Like, it's not fair. However, I think when people start to doubt someone's athleticism, the prospect seems more tempting.
Randy is the epitome of what I think this team is. You make a diving catch in outfield. Woo, that boy is nice. Go and get it.
Totally.
And then you get caught up on the bases doing some silly stuff, not knowing what the count is.
Let me be excited for more than 2 minutes.
It's like, come on, man. Like,
what's going on?
We got to be able to be more
said.
consistent. And that, Randy, that whole thing is what this team is right now.
Yes.
But the jacked up part is you feel like there's still enough talent, right? I mean, obviously you got to get healthy. That's the name of the game. These aren't the only guys dealing with injuries, but obviously we focus on them because we cover this team. So you got to get healthy, but just make the plays you're supposed to make and a few that you're not supposed to make.
From 425, hold on, is Julio really the best defensive center fielder entering this year? Yeah. There are not many other guys you would have, at the end of last season, put side by side with Julio. Is Julio defensively the best center fielder ever, all time we've ever seen? No. But at end of year 2025 in MLB, Julio was one of the best defensive center fielders, arguably the best.
Yeah, and Julio.
So, yeah, I am disappointed.
And it's
surprised.
the same thing with Julio.
Yeah.
You make that diving, that slide, to fill the ball, and then one gets by you. Yeah. It's up and down and up and down. And then, you feel like you had an opportunity with the Royals because you got the Braves coming up. You mentioned Acuna's not going to play, but they're still a good ball club.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Braves have won 8 of the last 10. Ronald Acuna Jr., like you said, not going to be there, but they've got a couple guys that are getting it done. Mm-hmm. It's not like Ronald Acuna Jr. is like leading the charge well ahead of everyone here. This is going to be really, really tough. And what you said is such a fitting description of where they are because they had gone 5-1 on the road entering this one.
Feeling good. Feeling
great. And then you're swept by the Royals. You know what I mean? Like, you can't build on momentum. Like, just, you need to. The AL is open. The AL West is open. You had a chance to 1.5 back of the A's sweep or take 2 or 3 against a struggling Royals team where they've got, like, 2 good bats, and that's kind of it. No offense to the Royals. But you are, on paper, a better team. And at a certain point, we're going to stop saying on paper and start talking about what you are. For right now, you can still say on paper, but, like, you need to start showing.
And you got Munoz coming in and giving up a run. It's just every part of this team had their moments to where they didn't come through this weekend. And that's the tough part. Nothing was just a for sure thing or super consistent. And that's what you need. But luckily they play in a division where no one is really that great. And what are you, 2.5 games behind the A's right now? There's like you said, open up the show. Still early, but these things are becoming a bit more concerning.
Okay, so a lot of issues going on with this team. What's most wrong with the Mariners right now? Bump says a little bit of everything, but mostly it's inconsistency and not playing complete games. Pitching is not always the problem, but it is sometimes. Offense is not always the problem, but it is sometimes, and you just aren't executing consistently. Great answer. I said maybe my number one Saturday night was injuries, and now my number one is defense. What about you guys? You can join this conversation, 866-979-3776. David Schoenfield, talking about just pitching, I don't think of pitching as my number one, but David Schoenfield handed out his April grades for every MLB team. The Mariners, with pitching, scored a C-. That was their grade, their April grade, but a C- because of some inconsistency with pitching. He said Luis Castillo, Brian Wu and Andres Munoz are some of the biggest issues with this team.
Well, Brian Wu, like the last 2 before that, we felt pretty good about him, right?
Yeah, yes.
Munoz is the one that, throughout the whole year has kind of been like, we're not sure what we're going to get out of him. I think that's fair. But with baseball, too, man, you got to go off of what you've seen as of late. There's so many games. You can't Wu can't ride on what he did the past, 3 or 4 starts before this. You have to go with what you've seen lately. And what you've seen lately is him getting lit up a little bit. He did fight back. I was proud of him for kind of bringing it back together for a bit, but end of the day, went out on a sour note.
He says only the Cardinals and Nationals have given up a higher hard hit rate than the Mariners, so something that we'll be watching against the Braves, by the way. You want to guess the grade that he gave the Braves?
The Braves? Mm-hmm. Pitching overall?
Overall.
B+.
A+, that's correct. So you are getting an A+ Braves team, granted without Ronald Acuna Jr., but still you are getting an A+ Braves team coming here to T-Mobile. It would be very Mariners. Can I just say something? It would be very Mariner to get swept by the Royals and then sweep the Braves when they're like one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Sure would.
It would be wild. We'll get back to this, especially in the noon hour. We're going to go pretty heavy baseball. Gary Hill is going to join us. We got a lot of questions about kind of follow-ups with Cal, Brennan Donovan, a few other guys when it comes to injuries. And then obviously, like, okay, how do you fix the defense? What do you think about the pitching? We got a lot of follow-ups. Right now, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra,
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
The Braves will be taking on the Mariners without Ronald Acuna Jr., who just landed on the 10-day IL. What's the real headline?
Can you land a punch against a team with one hand tied behind its back?
Them dudes put up 28 runs last series, 11, 9, and 8 against the Rockies. But you got to respect what you've seen out of Atlanta. I hope you can. And you're right. That would be the most Mariner thing, is to play up to your competition and play down to your competition. And they're going to need a good one this series, man. We need the bats to be flowing defensively. Just make the play you're supposed to make and keep it close late and you have a chance.
Headline rewrites.
Golden Tempo won the 152nd running at the Kentucky Derby, going from last place to first in the final leg. What's the real headline?
See, Mariners fans, it's never too late. People are going to hate me.
Hey, did y'all see like the race lined up with the trainer's reaction at the same time?
Yeah, it was great.
That got me so hyped.
Cherie DeVaux.
And it was crazy because this is how, obviously I don't bet on horses. I don't really watch it that much on the Kentucky Derby. But when that horse got maybe was back 2 spots, she knew that horse was going to win. She kept saying, oh my God. She saw that it was going to happen. And then I read that someone called that horse lazy too. They called it a lazy horse.
Ooh.
But in that moment, man, that was dramatic. I don't think I've been that hyped to watch a horse race in a long time.
Love the trash talk for horses. I think that because of scratches, Golden Tempo had the longest or second or third longest odds of the horses that competed. I can't remember. Had a hoof injury entering this one, which I don't think is maybe as big of a deal as people made it out to be. That difference was made up in the final stretch is also just crazy. And shout out to Cherie DeVaux, who became the first female trainer to have a horse win the Kentucky Derby. Absolutely amazing.
She's set for life.
Yes, her emotion was super raw, and it was really cool to see, and I can't imagine how rewarding that is.
I was almost disappointed in her because they started talking to her. They wanted her to reflect. And granted, she's overwhelmed. And I'm like, no. This is your moment, right? You're the first woman trainer to ever do this. Calm yourself down and get a message out there for all the young ladies right now. So at first she's like, I just can't explain. And then she composed herself and put out something beautiful.
Nailed
I'm like, that a girl.
Yeah, very cool.
Headline rewrites.
The Sixers and the Pistons both came back to win their series after 3-1 deficits. What's the real headline?
See, Mariners fans, it's never too late.
This was crazy, man. I thought Banchero, local kid from O'Day, went to Duke, was going to get it done. The Magic have been in the playoffs the last, 2 or 3 years, but have been first-round exits, so that was disappointing for them. The 76ers beating the Celtics. Granted, Tatum was out. You got Jaylen Brown calling Embiid a flopper. Embiid comes back, and this is the first few games and gets his team back in there. It was a lot of drama this weekend.
Yeah.
Lots of drama, but then the old man, number 40, 41 years of age, LeBron, gets my Lakers past the first round. We will go down to the second, but it's all good.
I have a question for you in 1 second. Speaking of the Magic, Orlando dismissed Jamal Mosley as head coach earlier this morning. With your Lakers, I doubted your Lakers, and I'm sorry for that.
Fine.
I'm really sorry for that.
I mean, we didn't have Luka.
LeBron's 47,
He's
48,
41.
49 years old.
You know, it was what helped us really. KD was out. He played one game and he was out. And we played against a team that started the youngest starting five in the playoffs in NBA history. So LeBron just went to work, man. But could you imagine? He's got to be so tired and so sore at this point.
Oh, easy. Who looked the best is the too obvious answer, OKC from the earliest round.
Yeah, I mean, they swept. Spurs look good. I feel like the only chance OKC
Knicks
has to go down is with Wemby playing, because Wemby did give him to him in the regular season. Knicks look good too. It's turned out to be a good NBA playoffs. We don't want to hear basketball. Hey, you will in a couple of years, trust me.
Who's best out of the East?
Out of the East right now, who's playing the best?
Yeah.
Look, when the Sixers are healthy,
okay,
all right, you got Embiid, you got the young AJ, a rookie over there, you got Paul George, you got Maxey. Talent-wise, I look at them and think that they can get it done, but there's something about the grit of the Knicks that kind of gets me to favor them.
Yeah.
It's all about Embiid. Embiid is going to be the deciding factor in this whole thing. If he can stay healthy and drop 24, 25, Sixers will get it done.
The Knicks have the single biggest difference in how I feel about the team, players, and fans versus how I feel about their owner. Right? Like with the Commanders under Dan Snyder, I was like, well, I don't really care about the Commanders at all, and I really don't like Dan Snyder. I really like the Knicks, and I really like their fans and their players, and then I really don't like Dolan.
Yeah.
Nothing I hear do I like. He sounds like the most thin-skinned billionaire I've ever heard of in my life. If I had $1 billion, you simply could not talk to me. Things hurt my feelings now. I get too sensitive now. I'm a sensitive Sally, I'll admit it. If I had $1 billion, you couldn't tell me anything. I'd be like, I'm richer than you. None of this hurts my feelings.
So if you feel that way, you can't get mad at these billionaires when they just act like they're not in touch with reality, because they're not.
In a weird way, I have less respect for a billionaire that's that sensitive than I do if you're a billionaire and you are not sensitive and you're just living on another planet, it's like psychologically I feel like that makes sense. I don't think it's good for the planet, for you, for anyone, but like it makes sense. To be that sensitive is weird, where you're using basically like a secret service to find people chanting "sell the team."
Like I don't care. Well, I do care, but I don't put much into what people say about me now, unless I respect you, or you're a superior. If I was a billionaire, man, I wouldn't give two whats about anything anybody says about me.
None. Someone said, did you watch any boxing this weekend?
I didn't. Who fought this weekend? Let me know. Should I watch it? Should I go back and watch it?
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, ESPN's Brady Henderson has the behind-the-scenes scoop from the Seahawks draft, and we learned a few new things, including who the Seahawks might have taken at 32 if he was available. That's next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Olympic has the perfect way to celebrate spring. A hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. Through May 10th, you'll save thousands on the perfect wellness solution for your home. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in California and Hawaii.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Dave Wyman here to talk about a revolutionary treatment for prostate cancer. It's Swedish, called CyberKnife. I want to bring in Dr. Meyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center. Dr. Meyer, what makes Swedish CyberKnife so effective?
The CyberKnife allows us to target prostate cancer with better than a millimeter of accuracy. It adjusts for patient motion on the fly in real time, and it avoids giving radiation to other surrounding vital organs. Plus, the treatment can be done in just 5 quick sessions.
I understand it's the most technologically advanced treatment available.
Correct. Plus, the CyberKnife is more affordable, it's less invasive, and has minimal side effects compared to other treatments. Our research shows that after 10 years, more than 90% of patients are free from cancer progression.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate, or just give them a call, 206-320-7187.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Frank Lumber The Door Store has some exciting news. After 6 long years, our Marysville store will be reopening this Memorial Day, May 25th. Our regular hours will be Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But on Monday, Memorial Day, May 25th, we will be celebrating our grand reopening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by for a hot dog and pop and see the thousands of doors and discounted specials. Visit us this Memorial Day at Frank Lumber in Marysville on Cedar Avenue. We'll see you there.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We got a behind-the-scenes look at the Seahawks draft strategy and what it was like in the war room from ESPN's Brady Henderson. His latest piece for ESPN takes a look at kind of the mindset that John and Mike prioritize with their players. And Bump, we also learned some nuggets and takeaways from this one. So I'll start with this. The main thing we learned is that, quote, The right competitive wiring was a prerequisite for any prospect the Seahawks would consider. How vital is this kind of philosophy when you consider what the Seahawks have done in the last couple drafts?
It's vital. One, Brady, bring me my pen back. Two.
Oh, yeah, he borrowed a pen from you.
Pen.
I wonder if he used it to write this article.
One of my favorite ones, too.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's important for every organization. I don't think they'll walk into a room with a guy and he seems nonchalant like he doesn't care and be like, that's our guy. We're going to get him. No, I think it is important, but I think it's probably more important for this organization compared to a lot of the others. I'm sure there are other organizations, the successful ones, who look for that as well. You want someone to compete walking to the classroom when you're about to watch film. You want someone who's always competing. When you go into a locker room, there should be like 3 different competitions going on at one time. We used to have a hoop in there, and we used to spend hours on that dang hoop before and after practice. You got guys playing cards. There should be this competitive tightness in that locker room at all times, and young guys have to come in and contribute to that. So, yeah, I think it's important for all organizations. You don't want someone who doesn't care, but I think that certain organizations put a bit more weight on that.
Let's get to a couple other things we learned from this. The Seahawks' other top choice at 32 overall was San Diego State cornerback Chris Johnson. Obviously, he ended up going at number 27 to Miami. So then Brady says the Seahawks had two options. Both involve Price. Either you trade back and try to get Jadarian Price, or you take Price at 32. Before we keep talking about Price, I wanted to ask you a little bit about a what could have been moment for Chris Johnson. He was a favorite of yours as well. And now that we know the Seahawks really liked him, what would it have told you if they went corner there?
It wouldn't tell me like they don't believe in what they have over here, but it would tell me that we need more depth, and this is our kind of guy. If Chris Johnson is drafted here, I don't think they go Julian Neal with that pick. So that was like their backup plan. But we knew they liked him, and I thought they should like him. He was a good defender in zone. All of his interceptions were in zone. Can play man. Plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's fiery. He showed the loyalty that we know that they are
prioritizing.
Yeah, because who didn't Price didn't change from or didn't flip from Notre Dame. Then they mentioned that. So guys showing commitment to an organization, I think that was big. Now, obviously, they're not going to trip on a guy leaving. Julian Neal was at Fresno State for 3 years, then went to Arkansas. But we knew that was a position, we felt like that was a position they had to address because you lost two DBs, a safety and a corner. So let's replenish that. And Chris Johnson would have been great, but I'm fine with Julian Neal.
Let's talk about Price. Brady offers a little bit more here. So there were 5 deals before Seattle was even on the board at 32. Sorry, 5 in the immediate 6 picks before them. The Seahawks discussed deals with the Tennessee Titans, so that would have been moving back to 35. They discussed deals with the New York Giants, which would have moved them back to 37. Both deals fell through. Brady adds it was when the Titans went there at 31, traded up to 31, the Seahawks were pretty convinced, like, oh, they're going to take Jadarian. Instead, they went with Auburn edge Keldrick Folk, so then Seattle's looking at, like, do we take Price here? They feared, says Brady, the 49ers might take him at 33. I think that would have happened. And while they liked Jonah Coleman and Mike Washington as fallbacks, they also saw a pretty big gap between Price and the next best guy. So that's more the insight behind what went into the decision to take Price at 32, including the efforts to trade back and take Price a little bit later. I wanted to get back to, we discussed last week a grade from Austin Mock of The Athletic, who gave Seattle an F.
Right.
And part of it was you could have traded back and gotten Price in the 40s. I don't know, man. From this insight from Brady, not only did the Seahawks make an effort, but San Francisco there at 33, if the Titans gave up that 35 when they traded up, but like there is a world where you trade back, let's say even to 37, if that deal with the Giants worked out, and you don't get Price. Then what? You don't have Johnson, who went at 27. You don't have Price, who let's say goes at 33 to San Francisco. I guess you get your next best guy maybe, but if those were the two guys they wanted, it feels like the risk wouldn't have been worth it.
I'm looking at the picks ahead of them if they were to move back to that 37th pick. So you got the Niners at 33. I think they would have taken a look at it.
Me too.
Arizona already got Love. I don't think they're going to do let's run Notre Dame back and have both those guys back there. Parker, the Bills took T.J. Parker, edge rusher. They have Cooks over there, and they're running back, 1,000-yard running back. The one that would concern me a little bit, the Houston Texans. I look at them and say maybe they would take a look at it. So there has to have been someone in that order. They're looking at them and saying, I don't know. These guys might be in the market for a guy like that. They have David Montgomery with Houston. I mean, if you were to add Price, that'd be a nice 1-2 combo. You have Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins and Tank Dell on the outside. Like I think that would have brought their offense together. Maybe they were looking at Houston and saying, we think, or we have intel that they're interested.
Let's talk about Bo Stevens a little bit. Brady says that according to sources, some in the Seahawks organization preferred Bo Stevens to Georgia Tech guard Kalen Rutledge, who went in round 1. Bump, the way I interpreted that was not that they thought like Bo is outright better than Keelan, though maybe they did, but that like in terms of value, that you are getting a very good guard who you could make an argument is better at certain things than Keelan Rutledge in the 5th. Yeah,
well, Bo played in a zone-dominated offense, and I think that might have been the thing that, put them or tipped them over the edge when it comes to we like him better. This is what I mean when I say organizations just get the kind of dudes that they want. There could be one organization can have someone graded a top 10 guy, another one can have them top 20, and what determines that? Their coaches, right? The intel that they get from the university, maybe it's a personality thing, and just where they think they are and how they would fit in their scheme. There has to be a right fit. Unless you're getting just the best defensive player in the draft, I think offensively you got to have the right fit and skill set because we are the ones on the attack. On defense, you can just be raw, athletic, and just nasty, and teams will take a swipe at you. So I think that was a mature way of looking at this, is saying, this guy's ranked higher. He does a lot of great things, but he and Bo Stevens will fit what we want him to do in our offense.
We also got an answer to the question about why they didn't take an edge from Brady. The board never aligned. Simple as that, right? We always talk about, like, take the highest ranked player on your board, that when the Seahawks were up there, it sounds like there was always a player they had ranked higher than an edge. Now, part of that is because some of the guys that they did like ended up going before they had a chance. He said Oklahoma's R. Mason Thomas, as well as Michigan teammates Derek Moore and Jay Sean Barham, were the players Seattle liked. Those guys weren't available when Seattle was making those picks. Or at least not, like, you're not going to take R. Mason at 32, right? So, makes sense. He adds that, unsurprisingly, Dante Fowler Jr. remains one of their top options in free agency.
Yeah, he should. The scouting report on him broke it down last week. He's a stout football player. He's going to be where he's going to be. He's more strong than quick, still has a little bit of burst to him, very disciplined, a tackler, splits the A's and the B's. I think he'd be a great addition. Not a guy that you need to play every single down, played about 35 to 40% of the snaps last year. I like the pick.
Was there anything that you were maybe taking a minute to linger on that you didn't know before? Like, for me, it was interesting to hear from Brady the decision-making that went into taking Price at 32. Like, just kind of the layers of, like, when he might go. Do you trade back? These were the two guys we wanted. They had only first-round grades on 15 players.
The way Brady describes it is the way that I imagine that process going. Is always adjusting, looking for your guy, hoping he's there. He's not there. What's our next move? Oh, I can't believe this guy is still available. Like, there's so many different emotions and approaches that go through a draft. I would assume it's just 3 days of adjusting because guys that you want are going to be off the board.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, taking a listen to some of these rookies from Seahawks Rookie Camp. That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
The Seahawks end up with 8 picks.
Every afternoon at 2.
They went in with 4, turned them into 8. What'd you think?
It did sort of align with what they needed. I love the first-round pick. I would just give John an A for hanging around until 32 to take Jadarian Price.
They could use it. They could use it with the uncertainty surrounding certainly Charbonnet and or McIntosh, if he's even going to be part of it.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Look outside right now. Seriously, it's gorgeous. And when it's like this in Seattle, you need to be out on the water. So do what I did and book a demo with Arc Boats. It's super easy. First of all, you just go to arcboats.com/demo. fill out the form. You'll be out on the water. And you got to try out the Arc Sport. It's a fully electric wake boat from Arc. So if you're someone who already loves taking your boat out, or if you're in the market for one, I am warning you, and I'm really sorry about this, you're going to fall in love with the Arc Sport. Don't blame me. It's sleek. It's easy to operate. Practically no maintenance because it's electric. So there's no winterization, no oil changes, no anything. And that means you can be on the water right away. Charging it up is easy. And the software actually improves with time. Imagine a luxury EV, but on the water. That's what it felt like for me. You really have to see and experience this boat for yourself, though. So do it. Book a demo. It's easy. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish. If you can't come to them in Kirkland, go to arcboats.com/demo. Fill out the form, and you'll be out on the water. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with my buddy Dave Taylor from First Mark Insurance. You know, Dave, I love sport. You love sport. And I love sitting with coaches and hearing their game plan each and every week. What are the keys to a First Mark Insurance game plan?
It's a great question, Brock. I think there's really 3 keys to a great game plan with us. Number 1 is we want to make sure that our clients have the correct coverage for their unique specific needs. So that's number 1. Do you have the right coverage? Number 2, once we have the right coverage, are we getting that coverage at the most competitive price possible? And then last and not least would be, once we have the right coverage at the most competitive price, are we providing world-class service to those customers so that when they need it, they have someone there that's got their back?
Those are the 3 keys to a First Mark Challenge victory. And man, am I so glad Molly and I took the challenge. We are one of so many through a decade plus of being a First Mark Challenge victory. You can too. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com, firstmarkinsurance.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week, and our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Seahawks wrapped up a weekend of rookie camp. It went Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have some new sound from Clark, Julian Neal, meeting Richard Sherman. We also have some stuff from Jadarian Price that we weren't able to get to on Friday. Rookie camp started Thursday, and he had his press conference, but he said something about the Seahawks offense that I want to ask you about. In fact, let's just start there. So this is from the first day of rookie camp. Jadarian speaking with reporters on what he likes about outside zone.
Yeah, I like the options it gives me as a runner. You know, just being able to stretch the defense and puncture, as they say, and just allow the linemen to do what they do and get up to the second level on the double teams. I really like to see it develop, and I'm pretty good at keeping my shoulders square once I get to the line of scrimmage. So I love all the run plays, but it just happens to be, you know, at Notre Dame we did a little mixture of mid-zone and outside zone, and that just was what I was pretty good at. So
look, the knocks on Jadarian Price, outside of little things like, ball security, you know, things that like any player would get knocks for, is you played behind the best player in college football, and so you weren't a starter. All right, but clearly Bump, the Seahawks team is a great fit.
Yeah, he likes the wide zone as opposed to the mid zone, because when you run that wide zone, you're forcing more of a flow from the defense. You're forcing linebackers to flow. You're forcing D linemen to have more gap integrity. So it kind of paints a picture with more options, because you press one side and you look for a cutback. The cutback could be right now. The cutback could be all the way. The way he described it is perfect, because it allows your linemen to work and get on that second level. And now it's just the back trying to figure out which lane am I going to hit. And gap scheme is like, this is the gap you're going to hit. Just get downhill and go that way. And another thing he mentioned that I liked, obviously he understands the game, he's a professional football player now, is keeping his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage. Once you turn those shoulders, you've committed. It's so hard to go back the other way. So it sounds like obviously he understands it. You're not the 32nd pick on accident. You know some ball. You understand the scheme. You might have done it a lot with Notre Dame, but it feels like he thinks he's going to have more freedom to really show what he can do.
He's got an early back and forth with Mike Macdonald.
Yeah. On that point, all 3 times that I've met with Coach, he has mentioned that game, and he hits me with hey, if I was coaching you, I would have, and you ran the ball a little bit more, maybe I would have beat us. So, but that's in the past. You live and you learn, you know. But he's a great coach, and I'm excited to play for him.
As someone who also won't let things go, I appreciate that Mike Macdonald, each of the 3 times he's talked with Jadarian or met with Jadarian, has brought up Michigan beating Notre Dame. Like, he won't let it go.
That's just what we do.
Respect it.
Like, to this day, something could happen between UW and WSU.
Oh, my God.
And I know UW got the upper hand on us through history.
I know where this is going.
But me and Mario will still talk crap to each other. Mario Bailey, one of the greatest receivers of all time at UW. And I will talk to him as if we have won 70% of the games, and we have not.
Now you have.
I have. But that's just how it is. That's how competition is. I mean, you go into a locker room, you got guys from the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12. And it's a competitive nature. So Mike Macdonald is showing that he's still got that in him, and he's going to remind him.
Let's take a listen to the latest from Julian Neal, one of Seattle's newest corners. He thinks that Seattle's going to be the perfect place to showcase his talent.
Just their history with corners, and plus, like I said, I have a coach that was here, so I already know what they could do. I flourished under my coach's coaching, so I'm already knowing once I get here, it's probably going to go to a next level. And like I said, just their history. I was just talking to Richard Sherman after practice. He was showing me a few things, so I'm just excited.
Well, what was he showing you?
Yeah, first day of minicamp in Sherman, and Richard Sherman coming up to me and telling me some stuff. I mean, mid-practice, he like, hey, Juan, he like, what you looking at when you in press? And this is mid-rep. I'm like, right here. He like, okay, all right. You feel me? So it's just stuff like that gets me pumped for the season.
Sherm giving him advice mid-rep.
That's Sherm for you, man. Sherm's full of knowledge. He's ready to help these young guys, and he's right about the development, right? Josh Jobe was pretty much a throwaway from Philly. He comes over here, does his thing. You got the most out of Kendricks last year, 2 interceptions for a few weeks. He does his thing. Mike Jackson led the league in passes defended, went to the Pro Bowl, a guy who they developed over here. So, yeah, he's absolutely right. Even if it isn't the same coaches from back in the day, Mike Macdonald and his crew have found a way just to keep that development going. So he's absolutely right. He should get better as the weeks go by.
Julian Neal and Bud Clark taking him back-to-back picks. Bud going first, Julian second. Also got a chance to play together and meet each other.
So, me and Bud, so we both trained down there in Texas, but he trained at a different spot, like 10 minutes away from mine. So I used to go down there and get some work in with DB. So I kind of already knew him. Met him at the Senior Bowl. Man, that dude, he's different, man. He's in a good way. He's just lively. He's a great teammate. I'm sitting right next to him at my locker, and he's just, he's a different type of guy. You know, I'm excited to play with him and be able to get on the field with him this season.
So energy, liveliness stands out. Bud Clark was asked, okay, so when you first met Julian Neal back when you were training together, what did you think?
Man, I was like, who is this big old corner, bro? You know, I was trying to see because I'm a safety. He's bigger than me. I was like, you know, you show big dog. But I feel like getting to know him has been amazing. You know, I feel like we've grown our friendship, grown our teammateship with it. Like, you know, so I feel like we're going to be great together.
Sounds like the energy's right.
Bud's going to get along with anybody.
And
we interviewed him last
affable.
week, and he's engaging, he's excited, he's enthusiastic. I think that's exactly what they need. Julian Neal gives me a bit more of a calmer type situation, but that's how relationship works sometimes. One guy carries it emotionally here, one guy keeps the other guy calm. No, I think it's going to be a good fit. I think that it's cool listening to this rookie class come in, because the respect that they have for this group is on another level now. You just won a Super Bowl, right? And there's a history of guys being developed and leaving and getting their money. And let's not act like that's not a conversation that they have with their agent. Like, look, here in Seattle, they will develop you, and if you win, they will either pay you or you will be ready to go and spread your wings somewhere else. It's a business. So, yeah, it's this is the first rookie class since, you know, you and I have done this, and since I've been affiliated with the Seahawks, that the rookies come in. There's always respect, but there's just a different kind of respect this time.
Yeah, totally agree. Speaking of that respect, that was also for Richard Sherman, who we mentioned Julian Neal. Sherm was working on him kind of mid-rep with something. Bud Clark also seeing Sherm out there.
Oh, yeah, I walked up to him, but, you know, I try not to fanboy. I shook his hand. I was like, I'm Bud Clark, and then I just kept kicking. I'm like, man. I looked up to him since I was a kid. Like, that's crazy. I was about to ask for a picture and all, but I'm like, nah, I can't do it. You know, I'm a Seahawk now. I can't do it.
Not to be full circle, but it does remind me just a tiny bit of some of the things that John and Mike were prioritizing when they're like, we don't want guys just to be fanboys and kind of, we want guys to be like, okay, I know that dude. That's crazy. This is surreal. I mean, think of in 2013, Bud Clark was how old? I don't need, like 10, if that, 11, 12, 13, like he just a kid. So it is probably very surreal, but you also want someone that has the mentality to go, well, I'm a Seahawk, so I have to be professional too. Like, I'm a Seahawk too.
Yeah, those moments. My first game was against the Niners, and obviously I was a returner, and there was a returner, Rossum, who was a Pro Bowler, and I saw him returning kicks. I'm like, dang, that is Rossum right there. I went up and shook his hand and said, man, nice to meet you, and then kind of dipped, and he pulled me to the side and gave me a few words of encouragement. But, yeah, there's you're going to have those moments to where you're lined up. And you know what? I asked Nick Mawari that last year if he had that moment, and he was the first rookie that said, nah, they got to worry about me. You know, so maybe Nick is going to rub off on Bud Clark a little bit, and Bud will get that as well. But it's natural, and it's okay to do it in Seattle. Now, if you're playing to get somebody and you're going out of your way to say what's up to them and be fanboy, that's different.
Who was the most famous person when you were in a game or on the sideline, the most, in hindsight, famous player?
Well, the most famous player I actually had contact with was Brian Urlacher. And I remember I'm lined up, I'm going through my assignment, I go, I got to block Brian Urlacher right now.
What?
Good luck. I'm just getting his way and hold on for dear life. I did all right. I mean, he ran through me, but he didn't make the play.
Okay.
You know? That's all that matters.
So you
did my job. Yeah, did my job. I slowed him down.
Okay, what about, like, maybe offensively where you're like, I'm not lined up against him, but, like, man, I was in this game and I'm looking out there and it's so-and-so under center?
Under center, man. No one really under center because Aaron Rodgers was still young in the game.
Yeah.
Eli was still young in the game.
Didn't have one against Brady.
No, it was more receivers. I would look at other receivers.
Yeah.
And be like, man, I've been watching him for a while. Like, what was the white dude from the Green Bay Packers?
Jordy Nelson?
Yes, Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
I'm like, yep, Jordy Nelson right there. Let's
we
see
have
what
the
he
same
does.
birthday. He's
Do you?
older. Yeah, he's older. But I just
That's random. You just looked up famous players with your birthday?
Have you ever done that? Have you ever looked up
Taylor
famous?
Swift.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Swift,
Yeah, you look up like famous birthdays, and then you see who has your birthday. It's me, it's Jordy Nelson, and it's Waka Flocka Flame, and we've been holding it down, a trifecta.
Naturally.
All of us together, and Normani. I mean, that's a Mount Rushmore.
You guys are doing it.
May 31st.
You guys are doing it.
Yeah, I know. We have a few more questions about who's standing out and how these guys actually looked like at camp. So let's bring on Bob Condotta. He covers the Seahawks for the Seattle Times. Joins us next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
My first car sale was from Michigan. I get this lead. This guy had been looking for this very specific truck across the whole U.S., and he's concerned about rust. And I'm like, why don't we FaceTime? I will crawl beneath the truck. I literally was on my back beneath this vehicle, showing him all the welds that he wanted to see. He agreed, put down a deposit, held the truck, flew out that night from Michigan. I picked him up at the airport. He had his cashier's check. We went through everything, and that was my first car sale. So here's the catch. If you're willing to put a limit on what you're willing to do to be a good person, to help somebody out, or to help in the community, then that limit exists. So you don't. You just do what it takes to be the type of person you want to be and to help people like you hope that they would help you. And it doesn't matter. You just do what it takes.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151. 800-917-5151.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Kinematics Marine Equipment reminds listeners many boaters take to the water this time of year, and one of the biggest safety barriers is alcohol. The problem is alcohol sends clear-headed thinking overboard. Remember, boating is only pleasurable if you play it safe. Please, on the waterways as on the roadways, don't drink and drive. A message from the entire team at Kinematics Marine Equipment, your nationwide source for marine deck gear in their new location next to the Arlington Airport, or find them online at kinematicsmarine.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners open a series today against the Braves. Atlanta's one of the hottest teams in baseball, winning 8 of their last 10. They're going to be without Ronald Acuna Jr., though. He's on the 10-day IL. Seattle could be without Cal Raleigh. We're still waiting to see how many days he needs off with side soreness. An IL stint has not been ruled out. That series starts tonight at 6:40 p.m. with a 5:30 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports. Logan Gilbert on the mound.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times joining us now in the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Bob, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. I have a couple questions about these rookies and then some general Seahawks questions. I'm just going to start with maybe anything physically that stood out. Like, I remember Reek Wollen's first camp going, wow, that guy's like big and fast and like a head taller than everyone else. Anything like that when you were out at camp?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, 2 of the first 3 picks, certainly, Jadarian Price. He looked like he looked quick and fast and explosive and all that. Again, these are, as you know, they're very, they're non-contact. They're not wearing pads. And Mike Macdonald has kind of, I think, scaled down even the amount of plays they run compared to the old days under Pete a little bit, just kind of on the, let's keep these guys healthy kind of thing. So these were pretty short practices, but Price certainly looked the part of that. And then Julian Neal, certainly, he was the guy that, listed at 6'2" and all that. And part of why they were really excited to get him in the 3rd round. And he certainly looks that as well. When you saw him out there playing corner, it's, I don't know if he doesn't look like Reek Wollen necessarily because he's a little more built. I think he's listed about 200 and 205 or something like that. So he looks a little more built. I might have that wrong, but he looks a little more built that way. But just physically, he certainly looked that part as well.
Hey, Bob, maybe a position during rookie camp no one's really talking about, and who knows where these guys are going to be. But who are the quarterbacks out there for the Seahawks?
I mean, it was all tryout guys, so I don't know that any of them are going to be sticking around. They had 3 different tryout guys there. Jake Retzlaff was one of them. Kai Horton, who was the backup for Washington last year. So he was out there as well, but none of them are signed to the roster. And I don't know if they're going to sign anybody else to the roster. That they have the 3. I imagine they want to get Jalen Milroe almost all the work in the preseason games and things like that this year. So they may not feel compelled to have to sign a 4th quarterback to the roster. So that was who they had out there. They really only have the one drafted receiver out there, and a couple of the guys. Ricky White was out there from last year. But so I think they felt like they were okay, just kind of having tryout guys work for that camp.
I know that at right guard, there's been kind of back-to-back seasons of Anthony Bradford competing with Christian Haynes, and it feels like Bradford has won that job in part, look, being a veteran, doing the job, but also just being built, he's just a big dude. What's the vibe from Bo? Does it feel like, just when you're looking at, again, unpadded practices, like he's got maybe a body type or physicality to really push Anthony Bradford?
Physicality is impossible to tell in a session like that, so I'm not going to try to make an assessment there. But he certainly looks. I mean, he looks like a big guy who certainly looks like he could be an NFL lineman that way, definitely. Anthony Bradford's won the job essentially 3 times. They've kind of thrown it open 3 times over the last couple of years. If you include midseason last year, he kind of re-won it the one time last year, but he's kind of won it 3 different times. So, I think he's the leader going into the clubhouse. I think the Bo Stevens pick isn't necessarily just about overtaking Anthony Bradford this year, but Anthony Bradford's in his last year of his rookie contract. They are going to have some cap challenges down the road, with things they've got to do. Devin Witherspoon, they're probably going to have to re-sign Sam Darnold after this year. They'll have some other guys coming up, Derek Hall. They'll have some things like that they're going to have to do over the next couple of years. So, I don't know that that's he's going to beat out Anthony Bradford this year thing, but it's more of a get him ready so that if we need a succession plan after this season, he's in place to do that.
There have been, I guess, articles written that Milroe could be a big part of the run game this year. Has anyone asked Mike Macdonald or Fleury about that? And if not, just what do you assume that looks like?
Yeah, I'm somewhat skeptical of big part of that. I don't think they want to just make him a running back. And so then if you do that, how do you do that? You just do kind of what they did last year, where they put him in for a play or two here or there. But given, what the offense did last year and the year Sam Darnold had, I'd be surprised if they're suddenly they're just going to concoct we're going to take Sam Darnold off the field for entire series so we get Jalen Miller out there. I'm not sure I quite buy that yet. Nobody asked that when we got Macdonald after the rookie minicamp the other day. Miller wasn't out there. He didn't have the eligibility to be able to take part in that. There's some pretty strict eligibility things on who the other guys are who can take part in that. He was not. So we didn't ask about that. Certainly we will down the road. That's going to be a big part of the preseason for sure. Is Jalen Milroe and just kind of his progress. But I'd be really surprised if that happens, because I don't know that they're not going to make him a running back, and then. So it's just kind of, if you do that kind of package with them, what they did last year. But certainly that'll be something to watch for as we get into the camp and into the preseason and see how they use them.
In that case, my question's probably a little premature, but just so that you know, I'm glad Bump asked, because one of the most common names that we get on our text line of people saying, what about him? What's he going to do? Is Jalen Milroe. He's a quarterback. You're taken in the 3rd round. There was a lot of talk about, will there be controversy? What's this mean? And then, of course, Sam Darnold and the season happens. And so he kind of fades to the background. But we're getting a lot of questions now. Would you mind going over just kind of what to you feels like options or paths that make sense, right? Hey, when training camp starts, they could explore a trade. They could hang on to him because of Drew's contracts. What are the kinds of things that you're keeping in mind, I guess, when it comes to Jalen Milroe?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think they're going to force trade options. Drew Lock is in the last year of his contract as the backup. So I think if they have the preseason and they feel like Milroe's really made a lot of progress and he can be that guy down the road kind of thing, that gives you that option for, he could be our backup heading into the 27 season, the 28 season, things like that. And he's on a 3rd round contract, so he's on a cost controlled deal. And they might need that, instead of spending a little bit extra money on a backup quarterback, on another veteran guy with the cap challenges they're probably going to have after this season. So When they drafted him, they didn't, nobody knew for sure that Sam Darnold was going to have the season he had and that they're going to win the Super Bowl and all that. So, when they saw him third round last year, they were like, well, that's, it worked once a long time ago with Russell Wilson, and he became a superstar right out of the gate, and maybe we can strike lightning in a bottle. And, and if something happens with Sam and he's not what we think, then we've got another option. It kind of went the other way. Sam Darnold played, I think, better than a lot of people thought he would. They obviously won the Super Bowl. He formed this connection with JSN, in which JSN had one of the top 10 receiving seasons in the history of the league. So I think it's pretty clear what you've got. You've got Darnold, Locke, and Milroe, and I think Milroe's kind of in a developmental stage still. And, I think that's what they're going to hope to do is get him up to speed. And, they've got a new offense they're learning. It's really similar, and I think in a lot of ways. But Mike Macdonald talked about that the other day. About there's a lot of new terminology. Anytime you change coordinators, there's going to be that, and so that's going to be a lot of the focus early on for the quarterbacks is just kind of getting that all down and making sure everybody's kind of back on the same page with what they're going to do under Brian Fleury. And so I think with Milroe, it's kind of just hoping he takes that next step, shows some signs. They get him a lot of work in the preseason games, and they hope he kind of does that. And maybe if something materializes out of some team really needs a quarterback or something like that, and they make some kind of trade offer for him, then you consider it. But I think with Drew Lock's situation, I don't know that you force that at all, because I think you Drew Lock may not want to just stay here forever as a backup either. Same thing when he signed. I think he doesn't know for sure how things are going to unfold with Sam, but now it's really clear Sam Darnold's the quarterback of this team for now and probably for quite a long time. So, I think it's just kind of for the Seahawks, it's that just kind of keep developing Jalen Milroe and kind of see where it goes down the road. But again, I'd be surprised if it's suddenly like, yeah, we've got to figure out a way to get Jalen Milroe to play a quarter or something like that in every regular season game this year. I just don't know that that's really what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that the first 4 picks are going to make the team, and we'll probably see them in Price, Clark, Neal, and Stevens. As you know, Bob, you get into that 6th and 7th round, some of these guys aren't going to make it. I mean, Damian Martinez was a 7th round pick last year, and didn't make the squad. So out of the last 4 picks, the Henderson, Fuller, Eastern, and Dansby, is there anyone you feel like made a huge jump this past weekend?
It is going to be hard for those guys to make the roster. I did a 53-man roster projection last week, and I didn't have those guys on it. I think corners. I think Fuller, just because of the way the cornerback situation kind of looks, I think that's the spot where one of those guys could make kind of a surprise run maybe and make the roster. Again, 6th and 7th round picks often don't make rosters of any teams, but especially a defending Super Bowl champion that returns almost everybody, it's going to be difficult. I think a couple of those guys, I think the trades the Seahawks made to acquire those picks and draft those guys those were guys they had on their list as undrafted free agent signees, and I think they just thought, let's just go ahead and we can make these trades and we can draft them. Then we don't have to battle, do the competition you have to sign these guys as undrafted free agents. Because I think it's the same thing where I think there might have been some agents of some of those guys who might have been, that's going to be a hard roster to make. Maybe we're better off signing somewhere else, but if you draft them, they don't have that choice. So now you have them. And so, I think these are guys that they really feel as have futures with the team as maybe guys you waive now, but you keep them on the practice squad and then you kind of see what happens down the road. I think that was probably more the idea with all those guys. But I think Fuller is the one. I mean, I think there were people who thought he could have been as high as maybe 4th or 5th round pick. And I think just, again, the quarterback competition and the way that is, you've really got 2 sure things, obviously, in your starters. But after that, you've got a lot of uncertainty. And I think if he were to really show, we saw him, again, the nature of these things, I'm really reluctant to say anybody made a jump or stood out or something in terms of what they did on the field. It was a lot of just running situational stuff and all that. But Fuller, he played a lot of nickel in what they were doing, but he can play outside, and so I think he could be that. I think as a guy who maybe could make the roster as your 4th or 5th corner, he seems to sort of have that versatility, which is exactly what you have to have if you're going to make the roster at the bottom. Be that last corner or something like that on the roster, because that's what you got, on game day. That's sort of your role, is to be a backup who could go in and play anywhere. And I think he might most fit that of any of those guys. Eastern's an interesting guy. I should have mentioned him earlier. Maybe if you just look kind of physically, he definitely stands out. And, he's I think that interior defensive line is certainly a spot where there could be an opportunity to maybe make the roster. Again, I think it's more of being on the practice squad and being one of those guys who might get some call-ups during the year is probably a more logical thing for him. But he'll have that chance to kind of make that case for himself in training camp.
He is Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Yep.
Make sure you're reading Bob's work at SeattleTimes.com or the Seattle Times app. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, ouch. Brian Schottenheimer in Dallas called out his rookies. He said, quote, "None of these guys are in great shape. My feelings are hurt for them." Why aren't you surprised, though?
I was in great shape when I went in. I'm just going to say that. But I'm not surprised these guys aren't, because when you're training for the combine. You're training for drills. You're training for the 40, the shuttle, broad, and all that good stuff. Yes, you are conditioning, but you're not doing football conditioning. You're not out there running 10 to 15 consecutive plays with another guy in front of you trying to stop you or impede your progress. It's just different. So you heard Bob talk about how Mike Macdonald kind of tapered the practice a little bit and cut back on some things, because I think maybe they understand that these guys aren't in bad shape. I mean, they're in better shape than anyone in this building right now for sure, but they're not necessarily in football shape quite yet. He said guys were throwing up, guys were tapping out. So now I'm looking at him and thinking, maybe you're pushing a little too hard if you got a whole bunch of dudes throwing up and tapping out. I get you want to see what these dudes are made of, but I think you have to understand what their progression has been like. They probably only had, after the draft, a week or two to kind of ramp things back up and get back into football shape and not combine shape. Combine shape and football shape are two totally different things. Doesn't sound like it was an issue here in Seattle. Maybe the intensity of the practices are different, but I'm not surprised that guys aren't in football shape ready to go right now.
It's a good point, though, where it's like it's probably a mix of two things. Is one, you're not in football shape, but two, if every single person in your class got an F, maybe you're not the best teacher.
You know what I mean?
Maybe you re-examine the intensity here. It's a good point. Second down. Let's get back to this offensive line. How does rookie Bo Stevens bring even more value to the team after rookie camp?
Well, we weren't able to get out there because we were inside doing interviews or whatnot, but from what I'm reading, he took reps at both right and left guard. We know the left guard spot is sewn up, but the more you can do, the better on this football team. He took snaps at right and left guard when he was in college, so that's how you bring value to this team. Now he's got to find a way to get on like the field goal team or the field goal block team. Right? We know Bo Stevens is going to be on this roster. I'm like 85 to 90% sure he's going to be there. But the more you can do, the more valuable you are, the more looks you get from different type of coaches. And you get into these meetings and your name gets brought up. When you're doing a lot of things and your name gets brought up, they find places for you. We got to get this guy on kickoff. We got to get this guy here because they want to utilize your athleticism. So it's good. We know that Bo's going to push for that right guard spot, but to hear that he's taking snaps on both sides of the line, I think is important. Knock on wood. We never want Gray's able to go down, but if he does, you have a guy who's ready to go. What that also does, it puts pressure on guys like Christian Haynes and Oluwatimi. Haynes was supposed to be one of these guys starting at one of the guard spots. Oluwatimi has been a guy who's supposed to start at the center or guard spot. So, lo and behold, there's a competition for the twos, and I think that is important. Anthony Bradford should have the number one spot. Gray's Able should have the number one spot, but if something were to happen, someone's not performing, you have young guys waiting to fill that void and get some reps.
Can I say something only related to the actual name Bo? Hear me out. Now, there are amazing athletes with multiple syllable first names. Aaron Rodgers, right? Peyton Manning. But there's something like extra football-y or like extra sporty about this single syllable first name.
Single syllable.
Bo. Joe.
Joe Montana.
Colt. Cal.
Al.
Hugh. You know what I mean? Jim. There's something about the single syllable first name that just sounds like that guy's a dog.
Mark.
I don't know what it is. It's just the single syllable.
Strong.
Yeah, that's exact. Bo. He could beat someone up, I think.
I would believe it.
Third down. What does Jalen Milroe being part of the run game actually look like?
So we asked Bob about this, and I don't see Jalen Milroe getting 10 snaps a game. You don't do that. You let your Super Bowl winning quarterback get back there and cook. But what does it look like? I think maybe on like short yardage situations, we saw a little bit of that last year. He just was ready, fumbles the football. But I also think that it could be a decoy as well. You bring in Jalen Milroe, and you actually let him throw the football once or twice. You move him outside the pocket and let it go. So what does it look like? I would say if Jalen Milroe, at the end of the year, end of 2026, we look at his snap count, I'm going to say 25 or less snaps. It's not going to be something that is a staple in this run game. It's going to be something. No, it's going to be something you just throw a mix up in there. Maybe there's certain situations or matchups that they like and they look at week by week. But I don't see Jalen Milroe being a staple in this. Bob agreed. So, don't get your hopes up. But I would love to see him out there getting some reps.
949, also Gray. Another single syllable. Gray. Like, it's just, imagine your name is Sarge.
Sarge.
You can't be under 6'1". Sarge. 4th down. Bob Condotta was on with us at the beginning of this hour. Anything else stand out from Bob?
Yeah, I love that he said that Julian Neal looked great. He was right when it comes to his weight. He said 6'1", 200, 205. Yep, right around there. That's exactly where he is. Brings a different dynamic to this football team. Different than Reek. I think Reek was more of a finesse, go get the football type of guy. Julian is more physical. I asked him about the guys in the 6th and 7th round, and he felt Fuller had a good chance at nickel and at corner. Again, why did Bo bring more value to his situation? Because he can play multiple positions. This is what Fuller has to do as well. Nickel, corner, get on special teams, you be a gunner, you do anything you have to do. The interesting one is Eastern. I think with this interior defensive line, we know there's going to be a good rotation there. You still got Peely. They signed Peely back. He has an opportunity because at his position, your job is just to stalemate. Stalemate, take on the double teams, get bodies on you so you allow the linebackers to free up. And there have been a few times where I've seen guys from lower level schools come in and have success at that position. It's hard to make this ball club, man. I mean, I made it as an undrafted free agent. Let me tell you, that journey was tough. And these guys were drafted in the 6th and 7th round. The journey's going to be tough. The key with these guys is you cannot get hurt. I know it's not up to you, but you cannot get hurt. You cannot make any mental errors. If they can do that, going off of Bob and what he's seen and what he's heard, looks like Fuller and Eastern are going to have a better opportunity to make this team. I'm still looking at Henderson as well and thinking maybe he can crack the team on specials.
Why do we think that Fuller fell out of the 5th? Because, again, Brady had in his column that they had Andre Fuller as like a 5th-round prospect. They end up getting him in the 7th. Is there a reason?
I don't know. I watched tape on him, and there's still a few more things he has to clean up, in my opinion. I think that at times he plays a little too high, and when he tackles, he's going for the chest and not the hip and the thigh. Now, he also does a lot of great things. Has good instincts, punches the football out, really aggressive, has good size to him. But there's always some things. You're not drafted in the 7th round on accident. It's rare. Excuse me, Brock Purdy, Tom Brady. But it's rare that you go super late and you don't have more things to work on than the average guy. And those guys are typically not as athletic as the top guys. So they have to be technically more sound than those guys at times because they can't rely on this rawness. I can just turn my hips any kind of way and go get the football.
Very interesting. Again, I liked his draft call, so now I've got this like really selfish kind of like, man, I hope it works out. And depth in the cornerback room and on special teams, always a good thing. Bump, someone says.
What up?
Technically a Michael, though. 2-syllable first name.
Yeah.
And, if we're going to be fair, Bumpus, 2-syllable last name.
Why can't I get my 1-syllable on?
Because
Bump.
you're not a true 1-syllable.
Who do you know who calls me Michael?
No one.
No one does.
But what I'm saying is...
Bump.
Okay, I just think it's a little bit of stolen valor.
You hating right now, man.
I'm not, but
Give me my flowers.
You know
Bump.
what? You know what? Actually, I take it back. Because a lot of those 1-syllable names I said earlier are technically 2-syllable names. Joseph.
There you go.
Bosif. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle's Bump and Stacy on the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next is the timeline.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
They needed a cornerback. We talked about that going into the draft. They drafted 3 of them. Bud Clark, he told us, hey, I can play nickel, I can play corner, I can play safety. The same thing with Julian Neal, too. I mean, he's 6'2", 200. As far as giving out a grade, I don't know. What would you say? B+?
If you're going on addressing needs, I'd give them an A.
Yeah.
Now, are these guys all going to pan out? No. I hope those top 3 picks are going to be impact guys.
Only on Seattle Sports.
What's up? It's Bump here. Let you know we got some big events coming up at Silver Reef. Crazy Train, an Aussie tribute to the Prince of Darkness, headline Saturday, July 25th. You got Howie Mandel, a famous comedian, returns to Silver Reef on Friday, October 9th. Tickets sold out fast the first time, so make sure you get your tickets before they sell out again. But don't wait until July or October to check out Silver Reef Casino Resort. Book a tea time at Loomis Trails and spend the weekend up there. You can relax in deluxe rooms and enjoy a meal at the steakhouse. Watch a game at one of their sports restaurants, the Cantina, authentic Mexican restaurant. I love it there. The burritos are on point. There's plenty of reasons to go up there, and I haven't even mentioned the spa yet. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com. I love it there. It's an easy drive up to 5, man, and they got some cheap gas, so your wallet will not be mad at you. Hop on I-5, exit 260, Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
I'm sure by now you've heard interviews with a whole lot of people who took the First Mark Challenge and saved so much money on their insurance and got better coverage. We call them First Mark victories. Well, I too took the First Mark Challenge and am thrilled to say that First Mark is saving my family thousands. Now that's what I call a victory. Before we got married, my husband had been with the same agent for so long, I think we just assumed that they were working hard to get us the best coverage and save us money. But it wasn't the case, and we only knew that by taking the First Mark Challenge. First Mark works for you, not the insurance carriers. First Mark will fully analyze your current coverage, making sure you're not overpaying for the wrong coverage, which could leave you at risk for financial loss. Then they carefully search the market, dozens of major carriers to find you the best fit. And that's it. First Mark Insurance has helped thousands of families successfully manage the complicated world of insurance and save them thousands, my family included. Be the next First Mark Challenge victory. Take the First Mark Challenge now. It's free. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. First Mark Insurance. They work for you.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month, no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 8-333-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
People can see through if it's not genuine, and it's genuine here. The Johnsons always talk about in orientation meeting, their dad and grandpa, they always maintain that it's a people business. We're not here to sell cars and work on cars. That's what we do, but it's really about just helping people. Every month we have a new employee orientation meeting, and the Johnsons present. They can't get out to all the stores every day and meet everyone, but at least they get to shake hands with new employees every month in the orientation meeting. And they tell everyone there's not one car deal or one repair order that is worth tarnishing our reputation and ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline, taking a look around the world of sports, which means stepping outside of Seattle for just a minute. And let's go to Lexington. Before the 152nd Kentucky Derby, Donna Brothers predicted a historic moment. This is in her pre-race interview with Cherie DeVaux. Take a listen.
Making the walkover with Cherie DeVaux, who has the number 19 Golden Tempo in here. Cherie, in a race that's 152 years old, it's pretty hard to make history. What would it mean to you to make history here today?
I don't know if I can conceptualize it at the moment, so if I do, I'll let you know. But you were the first woman jockey to win a Triple Crown race, right? So women like you are what made it easy for me. And by the way, my career started 22 years ago at Churchill, and I've always admired and respected you, and it is an honor that you get to do your last walk over with me.
Well, we're not going to make this about me. I'm hoping you become the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
And she did.
That's what's up.
It was Donna's 26th and final time covering the Derby, and you got a cool little walk-off. Call it there.
I hope those two went out that night and didn't pay for one drink, one meal, nothing. History in the building walking through.
Very, very cool. It was I watched no horse racing at all, with the exception of Belmont. Mm-hmm. You're watching for Triple Crown winners, obviously, but for some reason, all of a sudden, I start going oh, well, you gotta take a look at this one. Now, this one's pretty quick out the gates. He's gonna struggle down the stretch. All of a sudden, you're like, me, longtime Derby fan. It's just listening to an hour of pre-Derby talk, and all of a sudden, you're an expert. I did go to horse camp, though.
You did.
So
that race reminded me of a 4x400 meter race, relay race, and you see just how hard you have to work to get back in that thing, man. And to see that horse kind of dig deep like that. And biggest of the jockey, too, man. It was fun. That was the most hyped I've been watching horse race probably ever, honestly. That was amazing.
Do you think I missed my calling to be a jockey?
You could have been a jockey. You have the right size.
I never had the weight right.
Well,
because you got to be they're 105 pounds.
Yeah.
Well, I'm short, but I'm
sure
not
you were 105 pounds at some point. If you committed... Yes, you were. If you committed at a young age, just what you wanted to do, then you would have planned your life around it.
Yeah.
You would have been.
I could have done it.
Yeah.
I could have done it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's never too late.
It probably is.
I would like to. How dare you?
It's too late now.
I'm going to get some Ozempic, and I'm going to be a jockey.
Okay.
How long until the Belmont
You'd be so scared on that horse. You'd be terrified.
I've ridden. Brady, how long until the Belmont State? How much time do I have to become a jockey?
I have no idea.
Is anyone hiring? We're going to make this happen.
That horse is moving. Your horses were dancing around all
they weren't,
prissy
first of all,
stuff.
They weren't dancing. They were running. We had to jump over little teeny tiny obstacles.
Right.
This is just running
at full speed.
Yeah, well.
You have till September 18th before it officially opens for races.
Done.
All right.
Done. Book it. Cooper Kupp told SiriusXM the amazing reason he learned to play the piano.
I play songs that my wife can sing to. It's kind of how I do stuff. She loves to sing, she loves the song, I'll go learn the song so she can sing to it. So that's how we do the guitar thing. And I was like, man, the piano would be super cool because you go in go into a hotel or somewhere, there's like usually a piano sitting there, and I thought it'd be so cool to like to be able to sit down and just start playing the piano would be awesome. Like that's the guy, that's the person. Like, yeah.
Not like a NFL wide receiver.
No, the random
highly
piano
decorated
hotel guy.
veteran of the
Random hotel piano guy is right above NFL player.
I don't disagree. Imagine.
No, I don't either.
I've always thought like it would be so cool to be able to have a skill that you could sneak up on people in casual spaces. Like you can't, the thing that you're best at was being a wide receiver. You can't just juke people at a bar. But like if you could sing at a karaoke, you could be like, no, I got this. And then all of a sudden you're like crushing it. I get what Cooper's saying.
I do too. If anyone's playing the piano at a public spot, I'm stopping at least for a minute.
Yeah,
and listening.
and you're like, wow.
Listen. And then my daughter's learning to play the piano now. My son plays the piano a little bit as well. And when I was in college, my guy, Shimizu, man, we used to come home after long nights, and he hit up the piano and start going.
Stop. Could he really play?
He could really play. There's like 10, 15 people there for the little after party. Everyone puts down their Bush Light and locks in on him.
Is this the 1920s? We used to come back and he would
serenade him.
The keys.
He was I'm like, damn. And then one of my homies could sing, and he starts singing, and I'm like, hold on, I'm big man on campus.
You just start doing push-ups.
Where's the
what
football?
Can I do?
Throw me ball. Watch this. Say one hand.
Just having a hard time with someone else getting attention on you, and you're like, no.
I was like, you're pulling the girl that I like right now, okay?
Dang.
Come on, man.
And you couldn't play the piano.
Yeah.
And you thought catching a ball would be cooler, but you understand what Cooper Kupp does now. It doesn't matter if you guys...
The pianist is the guy.
That's it.
He's the guy.
That's the move.
And then you can play other instruments. Just learning the piano, you can play other instruments.
Okay. Hear me out. I have until, Brady, what was the date?
September 18th.
I have until September 18th to become a professional jockey.
Mm-hmm.
You have until September 18th to learn how to play a piano in a hotel bar, and it's perfect timing because it'll be like the Seahawks' first road game.
Yeah.
And you can just saddle up to it and
here's the difference.
Check this out.
I'm really going to do it. You ain't going to become no jockey. You ain't becoming no jockey.
I feel like you're calling me fat.
I feel like it is a hard thing to get into.
It absolutely, there's 0% chance. If you could go below, I would go below 0 for how difficult it actually is to be a jockey. I'm going to try.
All right. Just get on a horse. Just get on a horse one time.
I know how to ride a horse. I told you I went to horse camp.
I didn't say you didn't know how, but just get on a horse.
I haven't been on a horse running at 40 miles per hour.
Is that how fast they're running, 40? I thought they're running faster than that.
Well, I Googled it because I wanted to see if they were faster than Lukey. They're the same.
Okay.
They're the same, but Lukey can't run that fast for that long.
Nah, he's a sprinter.
Yeah. He's an athlete in a different way.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson had his number retired by the Mariners before yesterday's game.
He would do things that have never been done in Major League history, and he would become also a Hall of Fame player as well. The Mariners honored him last year as his number was retired, number 51. I am grateful and honored that there's room for another number 51 to be retired. One number, two players representing one team. Thank you, Seattle Mariners.
There was also a special announcement from John Stanton.
On behalf of the Seattle Mariners organization, your teammates, the alumni, the current team, and generations of fans, thank you for your passion, your competitiveness, your unforgettable impact on this franchise. Number 51 will never be worn again. But its legacy, your legacy, will tower over this ballpark forever. And in recognition of that legacy, the Seattle Mariners will erect a statue in your honor in 2027.
Another statue. Move over, Ichiro.
How you
well,
feel
you don't
about
have to
that?
move your statue.
You ain't moving that thing.
You're putting me on blast.
You don't have to answer it.
I feel like there's one of two directions the Mariners can move in. Number one, you stop it with like 2 statues. Number 3, you get like 12 statues. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's too many statues.
Yo, Lakers got 8.
That's what I'm saying.
We got 8.
So hear me out. What if you start to have it be almost where like that's part of going to the park is there's maybe like a line of like 12 statues, or maybe the statues are placed everywhere, because otherwise you're going to run out of corners.
Well, think about this. Like, when I go to Europe, right, there's statues everywhere. It just tells the history of the country. So if you have some dominant players out there, line them up. Bunch of statues. If you can put that many statues out there, that means you have that many great players in your organization.
Right, but then what's the statue cutoff? Like Randy, one of the all-time greats, one of the most beloved former Mariners. His best years were not necessarily in Seattle. Does Felix get a statue? His best years were obviously here.
All right, so is Randy in the Hall of Fame already?
Yes.
Yes. All right, Edgar, Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Okay, if you're a Hall of Fame, you get a statue. You're a Hall of Famer. You play for that team, you get a statue. Teams aren't going to put out Hall of Famers like that. Julio might not even be a Hall of Famer.
I just worry that we're going down a path where we're going to have a number of statues that is in between. It's too in between. You need a lot or a tiny amount.
No, you don't.
This is my OCD talking.
No,
yes,
don't.
it is. Does anyone else understand me? Am I making sense to anyone? Tell me this makes sense.
We don't have time for that,
You
Stacey.
need a little amount of statues, or you need quite a few where it's like a statue garden and it's like part of why you go there. It's like, oh my God, there's like 12 statues here. It's so cool.
So there's 4 right now. Randy's going to make it 5.
No. There's 2 right now.
Nah, there's Ichiro, there's Griffey, there's Edgar. So,
right.
So
then
4. There'll be 4, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to run out of corners of the park.
Okay.
So then what happens if this team wins a World Series? What about your Cal statue? What about your Julio statue?
If they're Hall of Famers, then yeah.
But then there's too many statues.
You do it just like how they have all the pictures on the outside of the building as you're walking up. Just put a statue in each one.
I think that they need to start having a line of statues. I think you need to concentrate the statues in one area.
I think we need to get out of here right now.
Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners take on the Braves tonight at T-Mobile Park. Pregame at 5:30. First pitch at 6:30. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers, Edmonds. What we learned from Mike Macdonald this weekend next.
Rock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The great Daniel Jeremiah, we spent a lot of time talking with you about Jadarian Price. Is he the starting running back game 1 of the season?
I would imagine so, and then you're going to kind of be able to ease Charbonnet back in. He can do everything you want to do. So, yeah, I think he's fully capable of being that guy. Vision, balance, his ability in the passing game, I think, is underrated. I think he's going to be able to do some things, catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got good hands from that standpoint.
Only on Seattle Sports.
When I go to a dealership, I don't want to be pushed into buying something. Sometimes I just want to look around, test drive, and check out new features. When I went to Wayscar Ford in Auburn, they got that. There was no pressure, zero. It actually turned out to be a fun experience because they were genuinely excited to show me the cool features on newer models. And they only want to sell you a car if you actually want to buy one. The thing I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. A new car is a huge investment. I don't know a ton about cars, I'm going to be honest, but I do know it's the second largest and most expensive thing next to a house that most people will ever buy. So yes, I want to make sure I'm buying from a reputable place. I want a warranty, and I want to make sure I'm covered if for any reason I change my mind. Wayscar Ford has that. A 5-day or 500-mile, no questions asked, 100% money-back guarantee. There's a reason they've been in Auburn for 104 years. Go see them. Wayscar Ford in Auburn. That's wayscarford.com.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week. And our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Get in the zone, auto
AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is your job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Progressive presents a guided meditation.
Hear the birds sing. A chipmunk nibbling on an acorn. Smell the pine needles gently falling into your living room as the breeze blows through the gaping hole in your roof. Gaze up at that broken tree branch and relax, because you bundle your home and auto with Progressive and have the peace of mind of 24/7 protection. So relaxing.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we played some of what we learned from Julian Neal, Bud Clark, and Jadarian Price from Rookie Camp. Now let's get to everything the head coach had to say. This was Mike Macdonald talking to reporters after camp. We'll start with this cut, which I felt was one of the more interesting ones, actually. It's about not being married to the success of last year's draft.
Yeah, it's this is a fun weekend because you're finally seeing it in person for a lot of the guys. I think you have to, from the success of our really last year's class, you can't be married to like what happened. It's kind of a microcosm for the whole team. He's got to go at it with a new fresh lens and an excitement about who these guys are and let them go be them. They can't be anybody else, and there's a newness and a freshness to it that really our team needs right now, which is cool. And then let's just go attack it. But I think looking at it with a fresh perspective is important at this point because they're new guys. They're a new part of the team, which will add an element of excitement to the rest of the guys.
I thought that was good as a reminder, not just for one that they're giving themselves, but maybe ones that all of us on the outside can give ourselves is you can't look at, Nick Emanwari and Gray Zabel had great rookie seasons. That's fantastic. So therefore, success for this class is 2 guys becoming stellar starters. Well, no. It's about fitting together the puzzle that will eventually get to a Super Bowl. And if one of those pieces means that you have a corner who's a great addition on special teams, then that's the piece that you are missing. So kind of forgetting the success of past drafts and of past years for that matter, and just looking at, like, what are my expectations for this class?
I agree and disagree at the same time.
Oh.
I agree because, this draft class needs to write their own story, and they need to try to break into the lineup, right, and force or challenge these veterans or second-year guys who have been there before, so they're not comfortable. But to completely ignore what you did last year, I think will be false. I think that's part of who you are now. I think when you step on the football field, there's a different type of pride because you've shown that you can do it. You got to go repeat it. You have to go back it up. It is a new year. You're not just saying because we won last year, we're going to win this year. But remember the things that you did to get you there and build off of that. So, like, completely forget, last year was last year. I get that's the message you put out there, but what you did last year is part of your culture and part of your bravado and part of the swag and low-key arrogance that you have. You got to back it up. You got to prove it and get better this offseason. But, don't forget, man, because that was something special. You build off of that.
And here's what Mike Macdonald really drives home to the young guys.
Well, it's like if you were asked, like, how many games you guys going to win this year? It's like, I don't know. Why don't we just worry about having a great phase 2 day, and then let's go have another great one the next day and make sure it's our standard, and then trust that that's going to create a team that we're ready to go play football games. So same thing with player development. We have goals, on where we want players, and there's timetables behind things sometimes in terms of skill development and, body comp, things like that. And so, we want to hit timetable goals on that front, but as long as you're hitting those markers, why put a cap on things?
Don't put a timeline on your development.
Yeah, because you could have a great 3 days and a horrible 4th day and have to reset some things. I think every day you figure out where you are and where you need to go. You don't say, by this day we need to be here. And sometimes you could do that, and sometimes you reach your goals there, but I think Coach is right. And that's why you have these post-practice, you watch film, the coaches meet up and say, all right, do we really need to install these next 6 plays, or should we just go 3? Because we really need to lock down these other ones. So, yeah, it's a day-by-day thing.
It talked about Bud Clark's energy.
Yeah. I think John said he's the opposite of an energy vampire. Like, he just broke down the last huddle, and, the team went nuts, and you could just tell he's got a contagious spirit about him, which we obviously love that.
I'm sorry, you're a brand new rookie, and I know it's rookie camp, but on day 2 or 3 is breaking down the huddle.
It's all rookies. Who else going to break it down?
There's some second-year players in there.
I guess, but yeah.
I'm saying it facetious. I like that it's Bud Clark, and that doesn't surprise us given the interview we had with him too, and with Andy Avalos.
Especially in this setting, because it's 95% rookies. You do have a couple second-year guys in there. This is his time to establish themselves as the alpha of this group. Now, once the other guys get in, you can still be an alpha, but there's a chain of command that you must adhere to.
Speaking of those second-year guys, I wanted to play this one for you. He talked about how important this weekend can be for guys who aren't rookies but are very much trying to prove themselves.
And those guys had a great attitude. They had a chance to play some extra football, and it was great to just see them go play ball and in our system with some new terminology on offense, and it's an opportunity to get ahead, so to speak. And Ricky did a great job. Montori did a great job. Chris Paul did a great job. We had a couple others.
These are the names like a Ricky White that you can't forget about when you're trying to plan out like what this roster might look like. Now, they're certainly not forgetting. I'm talking about me or fans when you're looking at like, okay, so what are some pieces? Because some of these guys start to slip through the cracks of your attention a little bit, which is maybe they get hurt or don't play a ton their rookie season. And then you have a new batch of rookies that comes in or a new batch of free agents, and you're excited about them, and you forget about these second-year guys.
It's easy to do that because you get so excited and wrapped up with the new potential on this ball club. But we can't forget they kept these other guys around for a reason, because they might not have been ready to contribute on a Sunday or a Thursday or whatnot. But during the week, they're serviceable. They are good practice squad guys, and they're making strides in the right direction. So, yeah, it's these younger guys do have an advantage, especially these first 3 picks, maybe 4 picks, because you are more excited about them. The coaching staff kind of sees them in their offense or defense, but these other guys can help too.
What's wrong with the Mariners right now, and how do they fix it? That's next.
Wyman and Bob.
The Seahawks end up with 8 picks.
Every afternoon at 2.
They went in with 4, turned them into 8. What do you think?
It did sort of align with what they needed. I love the first-round pick. I would just give John an A for hanging around until 32 to take Jadarian Price.
They could use it. They could use it with the uncertainty surrounding certainly Charbonnet and or McIntosh, if he's even going to be part of it.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
70 and sunny this week, so get out on the water with ARC, the 100% electric boat. They're doing demos on Lake Union, Lake Washington, and Lake Sammamish. Book one and see what they're all about. I got to ride in the brand new ARC Sport, and it was unlike anything I've experienced. Think of a luxury EV on water, quiet, powerful, easy to operate, heated seats and seatbacks, a large touchscreen display. Schedule your demo at arcboats.com/demo. If you can't make it to Kirkland, they'll pick you up. arcboats.com/demo.
Hey, it's Bob Selton here, and if you're somebody dealing with joint pain, this will be of interest to you. Wednesday, May 13th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
Hi, it's Dave Wyman, and this live webinar is a great education on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, knee, wrist, whatever it is, this live webinar will explain the procedure and how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, May 13th.
Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all 3 like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 40% off installation or 0% financing for 60 months with equal payments. And we're giving back with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Still planning your summer vacation? Tired of airports and long drives? Anacortes Yacht Charters has a better option. Cruise the San Juan Islands aboard a fully equipped yacht. Take the helm of a bareboat charter or hire a skipper to explore on your terms. Quiet coves, lively harbors, no schedules. Just a tide guide and a sense of adventure. With a fleet of 50 powerboats and sailboats, AYC has options for groups large and small, from beginner to old salt. Start your San Juan adventure at ayc.com/KIRO.
Sparta's Pizza reminds parents the fatal crash rate for teens peaks at age 19, and we lose nearly 8 kids every day. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, text behind the wheel, or ride with anyone who is. Always designate a sober driver, call a parent or rideshare, and let's bring our children home safely. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Sparta's Pizza and Spaghetti House, serving the best pizza in the universe for over 40 years. Come visit them in Linwood, Bothell, Mill Creek, or online at spartaspizza.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Some breaking news last hour from Jeff Passan. Tarek Skubal will undergo surgery to remove loose bodies in his left elbow. Passan says that these procedures typically sideline a player for 2 to 3 months. He should return before season's end, but obviously a tough blow for the impending free agent and 2-time reigning AL Cy Young winner. To the Mariners, they open a series against the Braves today. Atlanta, one of the hottest teams in baseball, winning 8 of their last 10. They're going to be without Ronald Acuna Jr., though. He's on the 10-day IL.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, Mariners broadcaster, and I have here that Matt wrote down, massive Star Wars fan, Gary Hill. Gary, happy Star Wars Day. How's it going?
Hello. How is Matt working today? I thought this would be a holiday for him. I can't believe he's there.
What are you doing here, Matt?
I could either have today off or Life Day off, and I chose Life Day.
Okay. That's very nicely done.
Well done.
Yes. Well, we're happy to have him here.
I'm
this
shocked
is great.
you
He makes
haven't-
all the difference, as we know.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Star Wars at all today, Matt. This is actually a lot of 2 hours into the show. This is a lot of restraint.
I think I've showed a lot of restraint, and I should be commended for that by taking the rest of the day off.
No, I don't know about that one. Gary, we have a lot of questions.
He is dressed as a stormtrooper right now, I assume. So there's that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's just normal. That's every day.
This everyday outfit. We opened the show with kind of like what's the biggest problem with the Mariners right now? At the risk of starting on, kind of a bummer topic, I instead want to start with just what it meant. I mean, Randy Johnson's ceremony, incredibly cool. The speech, very cool. The announcement about the statue with Bump and we got into a fun debate about statues, but either way, it is a very cool moment. Just kind of what was that celebration like watching it?
It was very cool. Randy Johnson is one of the best pitchers in baseball history. And if you get specific, if you're having a debate about best left-hander in history, he's right there. Koufax, Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, that's the conversation. And it happened for him in Seattle. That's when he found himself. He was a guy when he first came to Seattle, no idea where the ball was going. He was wild, and he figured it out here, and he helped punctuate some of the greatest moments in franchise history. So it was really fun to see him celebrated and relive some of those great moments, and it's well-deserved. I loved looking out in left center field and seeing the 251s side by side. And I think it may go down as the greatest number in baseball history. I mean, 2 Hall of Famers wearing the same number for the same team. It's remarkable. 2 very different players on the field, but 2 inner circle Hall of Famers. It was such a fun weekend in that regard.
In that regard, it was, Gary. It was nice that Randy got recognized, but a little rough when you look at other. It was weird for me, Gary, because I looked at Woo's performance. Started off a little shaky, but then I told Stacey, held it down. And I'm like, all right, he's holding it down for you for 2 or 3 more innings. Let's get these bats going. And then obviously goes out on a bad note. Just how would you describe this series as a whole?
Really frustrating is how I would describe it, especially in the context of what happened on the road. They were flying high. They'd won 5 of 6. They'd gotten to 500. It looked like things were really moving in the right direction. And then when it's frustrating for me is kind of when you take it game by game. Great offensive day in game 1. Reagan's has great stuff, and they put a lot of runs on the board, and Wu just has an off night. He had a bad game, 2 in a row. And it's just one of those things. If he has a normal Wu start, the Mariners win the game. Game 2, they get a great start. Hancock could not have been better. A career start, 14 strikeouts in front of Randy Johnson, which I thought was just phenomenal. And just mistakes. That's really what cost him in game 2. And if you think about 2 winnable games, you win those coming off of the road trip, it still feels like everything is moving in the right direction. You feel great about, okay, you got a series win off the road trip, moving on to Atlanta. Instead, you lose those first 2, and then game 3 was a depleted lineup and a lefty that spun it, and they couldn't figure it out. So you're staring at a sweep, and it was all, if the question is what's wrong with the Mariners, if you look at the sweep, well, it was something different in every game that cost the Mariners. And now you look at it and you hope the best for Cal Raleigh, because I think the missing components all showed up over the weekend. Matt Brash missing, I think, showed up over the weekend. There was a couple spots, primarily in the second game of the series, where you look at it, this would have been a Brash inning, but Brash isn't there, right? And I think that hurt. It hurt not to have Cal Raleigh in 2 of the games. And you just can't make up for that. You know, it's just the reality. Like Detroit losing Skubal today. They just can't make up for that. They'll do what they can to try and get by without him. But there's no Skubal walking through the door. There's no Cal walking through the door. You hope that Cal's in the lineup today. We'll see. I think we're optimistic that he didn't go on the IL yesterday. So hopefully it's not an IL stint, but we'll see how it plays out. But that's the reality of it. You know, you're going to not have Brash for a couple of weeks. Hopefully Donovan's coming back. So hopefully they get more healthy. In the meantime, they just got to try and figure it out. And it's not going to be easy because Atlanta is great. They're off to a great start. So this will not be an easy series at all.
I wanted to stick on the Cal conversation for just a minute. Coming from the football side of things, injured players don't speak to reporters, and baseball is very different. So I went from Saturday night being like, is Cal done for the season? Like, why is Dan being so cagey? What's going on here? This is so weird. I'm sorry, but general soreness that needs an MRI? Absolutely not. This has to be an oblique. This has to be a shoulder. Like, what, did you tear something in batting practice? To then yesterday he's speaking with reporters, and my football reporter brain was like, oh, well, you wouldn't do that if you were. Obviously they haven't ruled out an IL stint, and they talked about that. But I'll start with just the first question being, have there been any updates whatsoever that you're hearing about a potential IL stint? And secondly would be, what are the implications of Cal being maybe even limited, right? Because I'm assuming you don't go from getting an MRI to being always 100% today. So like, what version of the Mariners are we looking at right now?
Yeah, there's no update. We'll know more when we get to the ballpark today. I think it was encouraging he didn't go on the IL right away, but we'll see. I mean, sides can be very tricky, whether you're talking about hitters or pitchers. So we'll know more today. But yeah, I think you've got to be careful with him if the side is an issue, in terms of maybe he just hits for a little bit and you carry 3 catchers on the roster. He doesn't catch as much. Those are the kinds of things that you've got to think about, because he is so critical to the Mariners lineup. And we saw it the last couple of days. Without Cal in the lineup, it looks different. Even his presence, even when he's not on fire and hitting home runs everywhere, his presence makes a massive difference in the lineup. So it is something. It has domino effects too, because if you keep 3 catchers, like yesterday, for example, they didn't have a backup infielder. Like, the Mariners played a game with JP, Cole Young, Rivas. Like, you guys have to play this entire game because there's no backup infielder on the roster. So there are some domino effects. If you keep 3 catchers, then you got to find another infielder. But to keep Cal's bat in the lineup, it's worth doing what you have to do. Just like yesterday, they did that. They brought up a catcher for coverage there. They played without an extra infielder to buy them another day, and hopefully they don't have to IL him. We'll know more today, though.
Yeah.
How do you break down Munoz? Is he getting unlucky? Is he just leaving it across the plate? Like, what are you seeing? Mechanics? Is your feeling analysis of how Munoz has performed the last couple of times we saw him?
Yeah, I actually thought he's been in a good groove since the blow-up earlier this year. I thought he's pitched like he usually does, because he's always a guy that has command issues from time to time, but they usually don't show up because he never gets hit. So it doesn't matter. Like, he'll walk a guy, but he always leaves a guy stranded because teams don't touch him up. And I thought, it was some bad luck last time. And part of it was him. The balk played into it. So, it wasn't like he was hit all over the yard. It was just one of those things where he didn't have a margin for error. And part of that, the Mariners put him in that position because they had opportunities. They ran themselves out of a bases loaded inning. They should have had a couple more runs and a little more breathing room. But that's the kind of thing, if you're constantly putting Munoz in a situation where he only has one run to work with, that's not a large margin for error. And it's really tough. And you kind of look at the one run thing, you hope it evens out. But the Mariners have played more one-run games than everyone in baseball, and their record's not very good in one-run games. And hopefully it gets better as the season goes.
The Mariners' defense is what I wanted to jump to. This is something that's a little tricky for me to decipher what's fixable and what's not. Because to me, and tell me if I'm wrong, part of sometimes a bad defensive team is purely roster construction. This guy's bat is better than his glove. It is what it is. Hopefully your coaches, your version of Perry Hill is great enough to turn that around. But sometimes it's not like I think people think of it as maybe a manager having an outsized impact where it's like, oh, if you work them harder, they'll be better. And it's like, no, sometimes you just sacrifice certain traits. However, they are making more mistakes than I thought they would. I thought that they would be a team that could have improved defensively from last year, especially with like Naylor at first instead of Rowdy Tellez, a couple other changes. So what are you seeing, and what is to you maybe a cause or theoretically fixable?
So I'm glad you mentioned Perry Hill, because I had a conversation about this in spring, because coaches aren't miracle workers, right? And what he is trying to do is take defensive players to the next level. Like a bad defensive player to average, average to good, good to great, great to gold glove. Like that's really what he's trying to do. You can't take a bad defender and make him into a gold glove winner. That's just not reality. And you look at the Mariners defense, and they should be good in spots. Like Cal has been really good as a catcher, and he's been plus. And Cole Young has been one of the best defenders in baseball at second base. Julio traditionally has been a great center fielder, but does not grade out so far like that this year. But I feel like that's in his history, and that will turn around. And I think the rest of it, we kind of knew going into the season. I think Naylor is fine at first base, so there's that. But I think the rest of it is, to your point, you're giving up some defense for bat. And sometimes you have to, just not a reality to have a great defender and great hitter in the same spot in every part of your order. So that's the give and take when you put a roster together. And I think we knew that going in, that in other spots on the field, they're not going to have the best defense in the league. I think what you're hoping for moving forward from here is they're pretty good in some key spots, basically mostly up the middle with Cal, Julio, and Cole Young. And you hope that helps carry the day. But I think there's a reality. They're not going to be the best defensive team in baseball, and there's going to be some mistakes. What you hope for is to make the play, right? Even if the range is there, which I think that's what we're talking about when Mariners defense is they don't have the range in spots. But what you want to see is them make the play when the ball is hit there. And I think that's what you're driving at in terms of the mistakes, like staying away from the errors, staying away from throwing errors, the botched balls, that sort of thing. I think that's the thing to clean up, because the range kind of is what it is.
How many statues is too many statues, Gary? Because listen, I'm from LA. We got 8 statues out there, and Stacy's like, oh, it's too little, or you need more. You need a little, or you need a lot. Me, I say if you're a Hall of Famer, you get a statue. So I just want Gary Hill's opinion on that.
Hey, I'm a big statue guy.
Yes.
I love statues.
Yes.
Love a statue.
Hey, and we just came from St. Louis. We just came from St. Louis. They have 1 million statues. I have no problem. I think you're a Hall of Famer. You should have a statue. I love it.
Well,
I love statues. I think team Hall of Fames should be big Hall of Fames. Like if you want your national Hall of Fames, your NFL, MLB, if you want that to be exclusive, that's fine. But I think teams should celebrate their history and have, like we were in St. Louis, Jose Oquendo is in their Hall of Fame. And I bet most people have no idea who Jose Oquendo is, but he means a lot to the fan base in St. Louis. So he's in their Hall of Fame. And I love that sort of thing. So I'm for big Hall of Fames. I'm for lots of statues.
I'm for lots of statues. I'm not for the in-between number. That's all I said. In my mind, you need like 12 statues.
Well, you got to get there. You got to progress.
I know, but I'm just saying you got to, and then you got to leave room for the statues. It's just the OCD talking, Gary. It's not.
That's a very specific statue number. That's a very specific number. 12?
Well, maybe not 12 exactly, but I like the idea of like a statue garden where people can go and like that's part of what you're going to take pictures of.
Like Gary, you traveled to Europe before, haven't you? Europe?
No.
Well, travel to Europe. There are statues everywhere. Why? Because it's been around so long. So if you have a long history, put your statues up.
I will say a statue garden sounds very pleasant.
Thank
you.
I
I would enjoy visiting a statue garden. I imagine there'd be waterfalls and flowers.
That's what I'm saying.
Right on.
Very
Occidental,
peaceful.
Huh?
Yes. I'm not sure where that would go.
That's not my job. That's not my business. That's above my pay grade. I bring the ideas, okay, and then John Stanton's just going to make it happen.
There you go.
So I said statue garden, and then we'll figure out the rest later. But the money part
I'll look into that today. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Gary. Mariners broadcaster
Gary's
Gary.
Like, get me out of here, man.
I know. Sorry.
No. I just every day I would just stroll through the statue garden before we broadcast a game. It'd be so relaxing. I'd be ready.
It's not a bad idea. It's very cool. Again, we'll have a separate conversation with John. He's going to be like, are you guys requesting an interview? We'll be like, no. It's so much more important than that, John. We need to talk about the statue garden.
We should get your name on it, too. It's your idea. It'd be even better.
Stacey Ross statue
Don't you do that,
garden.
Gary. I'm going to hear about this.
Oh, it's going to be so obnoxious. Here's Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Anytime. Talk to you later.
The statue garden is not a horrible idea. I didn't think it all the way through, but I took the first step, and that's the most important.
But you know where T-Mobile is. It's going to be a bunch of unwanted all up in that garden.
I think it's more that I think of it as 4 corners. So you get 4 statues. And then when there's a 5th or a 6th, not including any inside, obviously there are inside. Mm-hmm. But then like you just got to be careful about where you put the statues because now you have 3 that are too close together or 4 too close together.
You're thinking of it as has to be like expansion.
I'm thinking of
like you got to go in 2 at a time.
Yeah. East and west. Like if they're in roughly the same area, well, how are they spaced out? The statue garden makes sense to me.
I like the statue garden. I ain't gonna lie.
It's like an outside Hall of Fame that's beautiful, and you go through and you're like, these are all of our greatest players.
I like it.
Okay,
make it happen.
Just bookmark it. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
The Braves will be taking on the Mariners without Ronald Acuna Jr., who landed on the 10-day IL. What's the real headline?
Can you land a punch against a team with one hand tied behind its back?
I hope so. It'd be nice to bounce back against a good baseball club. I don't care who's playing, who's not playing. The Braves have been doing their thing this year. And you said it the first time around. This would be so Mariners. You're so Mariners.
It would be peak Mariners to sweep a very good, very hot Braves team.
You're talking sweep. I'm just trying to get a win right now.
No, but that would be peak. That would be the most Mariner.
Yeah, it would be. So let's see if they can, play to their competition. They tend to do that at times.
Yeah.
Why not start now?
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the Mariners, just a quirky team. That's why the other day I was like, man, we would be having a week full of shows talking about Luis Castillo and, like, what do you do there? And then he throws, like, a no-hitter. Like, it would just be peak Mariner.
It would.
Unfortunately, it also felt like Emerson Hancock throwing a gem and then losing because of your offense was. This is not the team that I really think they are, though. Can I just stand on that? I know that people get tired of hearing on paper they're this, but they are so much better. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not panicking, but I am a little frustrated. But, like, this is a good team.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So,
I believe
in
so.
theory, they should be able to hang with the Braves.
Mm-hmm.
Will they actually do it, especially if they don't have Cal? They already don't have Donovan. They're already short a starter.
We've seen some people step up in moments for this ball club the last couple of years, so
That's
let's
true.
go.
Good point. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Golden Tempo won the 152nd running of the Kentucky Derby, going from last place to first in the final leg. What's the real headline?
See, Mariners fans, it's never too late.
It's not.
Final stretch.
My man was, I don't know if the horse is a girl or a guy. I know the trainer's a girl. And
I think he's a boy.
they were digging. I do this thing where I'm watching, I'm like, let's go. Let's go. And I'm getting up, I'm getting hyped, man. It was fun. And this is such a big, I know now out west it really it's not huge out here, but you know, horse racing has been around for a long time, and the tradition that comes with it is has a long history, and you could tell it means a lot to those people, and not even just the trainer, but everyone there, just seeing that moment go down.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about sports is people just go insane. Like, you're not yourself when you're watching greatness happen in front of you. It gave me chills, man. I was hyped for that one.
Yeah, that was very, very cool to see. Congratulations again to Cherie.
Headline rewrites.
The Sixers and the Pistons both came back to win their series from after 3-1 deficits. What's the real headline?
See, Mariners fans, it's never too late. Get it, guys? It's the same headline.
That's the theme.
Did everyone get it?
That's the theme. It's never too late.
What stood out to you from a weekend of games?
Man, you had Cade, who came to play, number 1 draft pick a few years back for the Pistons, was had a record like in 2 games or 3 games, had 24 turnovers, the most in playoff history. He bounced back. I was hoping Banchero from Orlando, he's a local kid, went to O'Day, was able to do it done. Just not able to get it. And then as far as the Celtics go, man, come on, man. I know Tatum was out. Jaylen Brown's throwing fits. Are we talking about that today at all? Jaylen Brown on Twitch?
No, go for it.
Okay, well, he's on Twitch complaining about flopping and not getting calls. And look, I understand what you're saying, and you're probably right, but you don't go to the internet right after the game is done and look like a crybaby. He's one of the smartest dudes in the NBA. Have some composure about yourself. I don't think he's wrong. There has been flopping. He's been getting some bad calls, but you are the Celtics. First time you've given up a 3-1 lead in franchise history. I think you're 1 for 32 now. Take it on the chin and wait until the finals is over. Then go out on a podcast and say, hey, this is what I think went down.
Right, but otherwise it looks like what you're doing, even though I really doubt it is, that what you're doing is like 100% blaming the loss on like, oh, it was this.
Yeah.
It was getting bad calls. And it's like, you don't lose a series just by getting bad calls.
You had a 3-1 lead.
That's what I'm saying.
3-1.
Like, it's,
come on, man.
but even though I would guarantee you, he'd be like, no, that's not what I'm saying. That's what those are what the optics are going to be, because people are going to feel like you're making excuses.
That's why you wait. You let it sit, marinate. You go on LeBron's podcast or whoever, and then months in June, July, you say, this is my reflection on the season. This is what I thought about that series.
Now, my sister's boyfriend is a Knicks fan, which means my sister is a brand new Knicks. Well, not brand new. They've been dating for years, but they've experienced a lot of pain as Knicks fans together. How far could New York?
Listen,
New York. Are you letting them down gently?
I think they have it in them, but I think the 76ers, when healthy, are just a better team. I just think they are, man. I think Jalen Bronson is a heck of a player. You got Cat Williams over there, one of the best big men in the game. But Sixers are just too deep right now. If they're healthy. If Joel Embiid can stay healthy, then I like the Sixers.
Getting back to a couple listener points here. They're a good team, the Mariners, with Donovan, Brash, and Cal. They're not particularly good without them. See, I think losing Cal, like if Cal goes on the IL, you are not as good a team without that power in your lineup, especially as a team that's already been struggling with slugging. But, I mean, Julio, Randy, Josh, Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, like you've got Andres Munoz. You've got these guys where when the season started, you wouldn't be doing an eye roll at any particular name, I'd be saying. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So you have enough here to get through May and try to add on to that total there and overtake the A's and build on that lead. It's deeply frustrating. You are a better team even without Cal.
You're better than this.
Than the Royals, and that was a disappointing series.
Yeah.
So.
You're better than this. And we look silly at times, man.
I know.
I can take an L, but sometimes I'm like, that was silly. Let's make the play.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, I have some bad news about the NFL schedule.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
The Camping World Ultimate RV Show is coming to Angel of the Winds RV Resort in Seattle. Parking and admission are free. Join us May 14th to the 17th to shop special show pricing on over 200 fully staged new and used RVs. Get an exclusive first look at new models. Check out the latest gear and accessories. Bring the family to enjoy our Kids Zone and enter to win a new RV. Don't miss the Ultimate RV Show in Seattle, May 14th to the 17th. We'll see you there.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home.
Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable. Save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime to drive.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the geeks to go big, bring him the game.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop, his quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I mentioned that I have bad news about the NFL schedule. We might be getting it a little later than normal this season. That's not so bad. I felt like I ripped off the Band-Aid.
But messing with me.
I know. NFL Vice President of Broadcast Planning, Mike North, was a guest on It's Always Game Day in Buffalo. He said, quote, most fans know full well the schedule comes out mid-May now. That's what we've done the last 5 or 6 years. That's sort of our target. Is there any magic to May 12th, 13th, 14th? No. Is there any real downside to May 19th, 20th, or 21st? No. Uh-oh. Matt wrote down this question. How devastating will this be to people who plan their lives 8 months in advance? Thank you, Matt. So it sounds like the schedule release could be a week later. He didn't say it, but I feel like this is teasing it out.
Nah, it's no big deal. I just want to know if I'm going to Mexico or am I going to London? That's all I care about.
All of those leaks, I feel like, are going to come out. Like, if the schedule's released May 21st, let's say, there's no way we're not hearing leaks in the week preceding that, including international games.
Yeah.
In fact, they usually will announce those a little sooner. But so, yeah, heads up to fans. We may not know the actual schedule until the 3rd week of May, or like a week later than normal. Next up, Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf, which still feels a little weird to say, will not face criminal charges stemming from his altercation with a fan at Ford Field. You guys remember this. It was during the Steelers game against the Lions. It was a Lions fan wearing a wig that was jawing at him. DK grabs the wig. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office said May 1st, that they're not going to pursue anything here. According to a statement provided by the Detroit Free Press, the fan, Ryan Kennedy, did not appear to be injured, nor did he seek medical attention at the game.
Yeah, but it looked like DK attempted to punch this guy. Like, he pulls him down with his hair and then kind of pushes back up. But yeah, if he's not injured, then he shouldn't be in any kind of trouble. I think he got fined already by the NFL. Who knows what happened internally with the Steelers. So not a good look at all. It looks like, I'm looking at the film right now, it actually did look like he threw a punch but didn't connect. So if he would have connected and hit that jaw, then maybe, but it's not.
Did you see Diego Pavia at camp?
I did.
He looked a little short.
They said he was 5'11". I told you, he's like 5'9", man.
He's not 5'11".
No, he's not.
Following the conclusion of rookie minicamp, the Ravens head coach Jesse Minter said that Diego Pavia is there to show us what you can do. Do you actually think he can show enough to make this roster?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be tough for him. It's more about just getting tape, getting film. So when you actually get in the preseason, you're good to go. But they got Lamar Jackson, Tyler Huntley. I mean, those two alone are going to hold it down. Then I don't know who Joe, the other quarterback, I don't want to say his last name wrong.
Joe.
I don't know who Joe is, your guy Joe, but he's a rookie as well. He's 6'4", 225. No, listen, you get to this camp so you can show what you can do, hopefully get some preseason film, and maybe someone gets banged up and they bring you in as a backup.
Someone said, Stacey, you had me thinking the Hawks were getting screwed or something. No, I'm sorry. Look, when you need a tease, you need a tease. It is, I was disappointed to hear the schedule release could be a little later than expected.
Yeah.
But no, good news. It's not going to be the Hawks getting messed up by anything. Next up, let's go to Vegas. Rookie Fernando Mendoza discussed what he's learned from Raiders rookie camp in cut 23.
I've learned a lot in these 2 days, and I think that's the best thing. Is the advice that I've gotten is, as a rookie, you just try to learn the most as possible. So right now, there's a lot of information. It's coming like a fire hose, but at that time, I'm just trying to take it all in to get better every single day. It's the attention to detail, and it's really, connecting with the teammates. It's so great in rookie camp, all coming together as an offense, as a defense, special teams, as a team together to have coherent practices so we can all get better at football.
It's not that my eyes glaze over when Fernando talks, because I think he means everything he says. I think it's 100% sincere. It's just always the right thing. And I will never criticize. I will not criticize this young man for that. But unfortunately, it does end up sounding a little bit background noisy. But that's what, as a Raiders fan, that's kind of what you want right now. You want a guy that's just putting his nose down. He's just working. He's not being a distraction.
I heard that he was taking his offensive lineman after practice too at the hotel and going through pass pro and all that good stuff, which is good. He's gonna do and say the right things, and if he performs at a high level, then I think people are just gonna say, "Oh, Mendoza." But if he's doing all that stuff and looking garbage, they're gonna be like, "Man, come on." So it all comes down to execution and performance. No matter who you are, how you approach this thing, this is just a way and a style that we're not quite used to.
Next up, Adam Schefter is expecting to see some of the big free agency moves fall into place fairly soon.
We're past the compensatory draft pick period, so now these players can sign with these teams, and teams don't have to worry about how it will impact their future compensatory draft picks. So I would imagine you'll see some of these guys fall into place here. As you mentioned, Njoku visiting the Chargers. We had Juwan Jennings kicking off with the Vikings last week. These guys have waited for their number, and the number in May is not going to be as attractive as they would like. That's the issue. So at what point do we get to a spot where the players say, okay, I'm willing to live with what they're offering. I'm comfortable enough with what's on the table to accept an offer to move forward. And I think that's the process that all these players, some big name players who could provide some real production, are now going through. And all these guys will get jobs by and large, I think, before training camp. But it'll come in drips and drabs is the way I would imagine it.
Drips and drabs. Why is this relevant for the Seahawks? Because while it's not a name Adam Schefter mentioned, Seahawks fans are waiting to see whether Dante Fowler will end up signing with this team. So Adam Schefter expecting kind of like a rash of signings here relatively soon. Could one of them be Dante? I don't know. What does he still have left in the tank?
He got some left. I think he's got a few years left in the tank. You're not going to ask him to play every single down. D-line, you typically don't anyway, unless you're, one of the top 5-10% in the league. So, no, I think he'd be great for this team. He's a veteran, been around the block a few times, and can really help these young guys develop too.
Kansas City Chiefs coach Andy Reid said Saturday that Patrick Mahomes is on track to participate alongside his teammates, even if it is in a limited capacity. Andy said he's in a good position to be able to do some things. If he can, he'll do it. Phase 2 of their offseason program. So there's no contact. There's no offense versus defense. Phase 3, you get into that. But he's in a position where he can do everything, I think. You think he starts week 1? Kansas City is one of the home opponents for Seattle.
Yeah, we'll see. It's too early. It's too early. You're going through OTAs. It's such a controlled environment. I mean, you can go out there with bumps and bruises, especially at the quarterback spot, and it's not going to affect you. When it's 11-11, and granted, no one's going to touch Pat Mahomes anyway. but the movements are different. The intensity is different. So I think it's too early to say, but it's not a bad thing that he's out there.
So if the Kansas City Chiefs are a possible Week 1 opponent for Seattle, do you think the fact that we don't know whether Patrick Mahomes will be playing will make the schedule makers not book the Chiefs here?
Has something to do with it.
I did that very wordy, but you got what I was saying.
They don't want to. Justin Fields and Sam Darnold square off Week 1.
Exactly.
Yeah, nah.
Wednesday night.
Nah. If Pat ain't there, then they're going to go straight Chicago anyway. So
that's what I think. I think it's. I mean, I guess it could be a Patriots rematch, but I feel like it's everything. All arrows are pointing to Chicago. And I know it's not the most thrilling opponent for all of the NFL, but the Bears were a good team. I mean, the defense has some questions, but they added some really good players. They're going to have some regression where you're not going to get that many takeaways, but you've still, then there's room for the offense to improve. I think Chicago-Seattle is a great Week 1 opening night to the NFL matchup.
I think it's going to be great.
Football.
I think Caleb Williams is going to be in MVP talks at some point. Will he stay there? I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a great matchup.
All right, we're going Heavy Mariners at 1 p.m. We've got a lot that we learned from Shannon Dreyer, who was on with Brock and Salk this morning. We're getting back to that question about what's wrong with the Mariners. How do you fix it? And a good theory, are the Mariners' biggest problems all kind of inside their heads right now? Hype Train coming up at 1:30. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. That's still an hour from now, but I could use those questions. 866-979-3776. Coming up next, how can the Seahawks offense evolve in 2026?
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
They needed a cornerback. We talked about that going into the draft. They drafted 3 of them. Bud Clark, he told us, hey, I can play nickel, I can play corner, I can play safety. The same thing with Julian Neal, too. I mean, he's 6'2", 200. As far as giving out a grade, I don't know. What would you say? B+? If you're going on addressing needs, I'd give him an A. Yeah. Now, are these guys all going to pan out? No. I hope those top 3 picks are going to be impact guys.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Have you looked outside today? Have you been outside? If you have, I'm jealous. Bump and I are inside the studio, but seriously, it's gorgeous outside. Spring is here, summer's around the corner, and you deserve to be out on the water. And that's exactly what I did last week on the Arc Sport, and you can do it too. The Arc Sport is a fully electric wake boat from Arc. Think of it like a luxury EV, but on the water. And you can book a demo to go for a ride. Why wouldn't you? If you're someone who already loves taking your boat out, or if you're in the market for one, I am warning you right now, you're going to fall in love with the Arc Sport. It's sleek, easy to operate, practically no maintenance because it's electric, so there's no winterization or oil changes or anything like that. And it also means that the next time you see a sunny day, you can be on the water right away. Charging it up is super easy, and the software actually improves with time. How often can you actually say that about anything you buy? You really have to see and experience this boat for yourself, so do it. Book a demo. It's easy. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo now. Fill out the form and you'll be out on the water. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
Hey, Mike Salk here with Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. And Doc, what do you say to people who are considering those GLP-1 injections for weight loss?
Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medications long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight gain is common. And most people don't realize research shows a significant portion of the weight lost can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder.
From personal experience, I can tell you Eastside Weight Loss Clinic takes a different approach, a doctor-developed program helping people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days.
No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, we use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger, and cravings naturally.
So come to their clinic in Kirkland or do the program from anywhere you live with easy remote options. If you want a safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections,
go to eastsideweightlossklinik.com to keep the weight off for good.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a data analyst.
Hey, what model did you use for these quarterly projections?
Astrology. If Mercury's in retrograde, sales tank. If Venus is rising, we crush Q4.
You built our revenue forecast off horoscopes?
Yeah, the Zodiac never lies.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Coming to Emerald Queen Casino Event Center, Thursday night, June 18th, it's Jim Jeffries.
If you see like an old couple and you go, how long have you two been married for? And they go, 45 years. And then I always ask, what's your secret? The man goes like this, she's always right. And then you see him go dead behind the eyes.
Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Global comedy heavyweight, Jim Jeffries, June 18th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help, call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Listen every day to the Bump and Stacy Show for headline rewrites. Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services. Security systems and fire alarms for every business. Bay Alarm, we got you.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I on a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Ah. Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
Hey there, Dawn Reiling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Sewing Machine Service reminds parents the fatal crash rate for teens peaks at age 19, and we lose nearly 8 kids every day. Make a family agreement to never drive under the influence of alcohol or drugs, text behind the wheel, or ride with anyone who is. Always designate a sober driver, call a parent or rideshare, and let's bring our children home safely. Best wishes to all our kids from the entire team at Sewing Machine Service, the family-owned sewing experts proudly serving the greater Northwest since 1942.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't think I could become a jockey by September 16th?
No,
Okay.
I don't. It's
I
tough,
think you could
man.
do anything you wanted. I think you could
I couldn't
become
be a
anything you
jockey.
wanted.
I couldn't be a jockey.
You're too tall.
Yeah, couldn't be a
I'm
jockey.
not.
I couldn't be a gymnast.
You're too tall.
Exactly.
I'm not.
Yeah, but those are also things you train your whole life for.
So you have to put on a lot of muscle and add a lot of skill to become a gymnast.
Yeah. You have to learn that there's skill
If I
in
take
riding a
some
horse too.
Ozempic-
There's skill in riding that horse.
There's absolutely, and they're not friendly. Those are not friendly horses.
Nah,
They
we're here
are
for
not.
one thing.
Okay, I have a more important question for you. How does the Seahawks offense evolve in 2026? And I'm asking this of an offense that I think finished top 5 in scoring. One of the best passing offenses in football because of JSN's season. But I want to talk about the ways that they could expand, evolve, grow. And I get that part of the theme is like, don't change who you are, don't change the formula. But I don't know. What if part of it is getting your running backs incorporated in the pass game a little bit more, right? Like, what if that's something that you could do? Mike Macdonald talked about Jadarian catching quite a few passes at camp.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, just given that was kind of one of the things about it in the draft. I mean, was that seeing?
It's not like an extra point of emphasis. I think it's just because of camp, probably more space plays rather than keeping him in traffic and just trying to be smart on how we utilize him in this camp. Getting off to the right start. But did a good job. Did a good job. But it's definitely part of our offense.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. More space plays. Just kind of no pads or anything. But I don't know. What if I'm reading into it a little bit, wondering if part of the way they evolve is incorporating their running backs more in different ways?
That could. Last year, Christian McCaffrey led all running backs with 924 yards. Bijan Robinson at 820. Then Jahmyr Gibbs at 616. You got to go all the way down to number 19 is where you'll find Kenneth Walker with 282. We also know that he shared time there.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a way that this offense evolves for sure. I was looking at just personnel groups when it comes to what the Niners did last year. They were heavy 11, 12, and some 22. They were like in the top 5 or 6 for all those personnel. So 11 is one running back, one tight end. 12 is one running back, 2 tight ends, and then you get the rest. That's a way they can evolve, and I think they have to evolve because defenses are going to prepare to stop number 11. They're going to say, you're going to make somebody else beat us. We're not going to allow, or we're going to attempt to not allow number 11 to do his thing. Granted, you still got Rashid Shaheed over there, Torrey Horton. You have Cooper Kupp as well. So getting the running backs involved in the pass game, and then I think expanding A.J. Barner's role as well, I think is how this offense can change. He's shown the potential to be a top 5 tight end in this league, in my opinion. So how do you dress things up pre-snap, and how do you move your players around to get them open? With Jadarian getting out the backfield, he's capable of catching the football. I think Kenny McIntosh is as well. Even George Halani, I think Halani can do it all. So, yeah, I could see this offense evolving with running backs more involved in the pass game, tight ends involved, or just expanding A.J. Barner's role in this thing.
Let's talk about that a little bit more because when I asked, hey, how does the offense evolve? Where do we go from here in 2026? Someone just said tight ends, which I don't think they mean add tight ends. They know that Seattle has tight ends. So let's talk about what that role looks like for A.J. Barner. How does his role expand in 2026?
52 receptions, 519 yards, 6 touchdowns. You will take that every day of the week.
Every day.
From your tight end. But when you watch him play, you realize that there's more to him. So how do you do it? What helps a tight end get open, too, is the run game. If you're able to run the football at a high clip, then your tight end is able to block down, fake like he's run blocking, release. You get him to the flat, up in the seams, things like that. I mean, Travis Kelce had the 3rd most yards when it comes to tight ends, or 4th most yards, and he's like 5? He had 851 yards and five touchdowns. But he also was a big part of it. He had 76 receptions. AJ had about, 50-something. How do you do it? It's all about dressing it up, deception, getting the flow this way with a zone and leaking the tight end underneath, or running the zone to the left, tight end's blocking play side, now he leaks over the top. It's just finding ways to show run and leak him out because A.J. Barner isn't the type of tight end that you can just line up outside or the slot or something like that and just have him one-on-one with the guy. He can do it, but he's not going to win like that most of the time. He's got to be attached to the line of scrimmage, and there has to be something influencing the flow of the defense, so he's butt naked. We saw that he's a good route runner. I forgot what game it was. Maybe it was a Super Bowl. No, it wasn't Super Bowl, but he ran like a little post corner, boom, 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 and Sam just hit him in the corner. Him running that route alone lets me know that he has the body control and the body language to really separate himself with some influence. I think all of his touchdowns were probably off of play action.
Yeah. I don't know that there's like a place for a Sam Darnold thing here. I would imagine his role is roughly the same where it's like, hey, sometimes you make the big play and it puts us over the top, and other times it's just don't make a mistake. I don't think that that role for him changes. I do wonder if the playbook expands. I wish that Clint Kubiak was here for a year or two, and we could have a conversation already knowing what his offense looked like and kind of like the little tweaks we'd want to see. Brand new OC here. And so I want to have a conversation about, like, how does the playbook expand? Like, how does the offense become more dynamic? I don't even know what Brian Fleury's offense looks like.
Well, we know it's going to be similar. And the same way that Kubiak made a stop in San Francisco, right? Yeah, He was connected there. They both were there and are going to pull some things from Shanahan and what he likes to do. They're going to make it his own. Expansion with in an offense, to me, means you give your quarterback more and you introduce more concepts off of your foundation, or you dress things up differently. Because it's all about getting to spots, right? You get to spots, And it's how you get to the spots. There's only so many places you go on a football field. You have the flat, you got the curl, you got the deep, you got the seams, you got the middle, right? You're going to attack those spots on the field. Now it's just how do you get your guys there and how you allow the run to kind of set you up as well. So there's going to be some similarities. There's going to be some differences, but making AJ like a primary target on more concepts is how you open up the playbook for him.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know coming up in less than an hour, 866-979-3776. Text those now. Coming up next, are the Mariners' biggest issues all inside their own heads?
Rock and Song, morning 6 to 10.
The great Daniel Jeremiah, we spent a lot of time talking with you about Jadarian Price. Is he the starting running back game one of the season?
I would imagine so, and then you're going to kind of be able to ease Charbonnet back in. He can do everything you want to do. So, yeah, I think he's fully capable of being that guy. Vision, balance, his ability in the passing game, I think, is underrated. I think he's going to be able to do some things, catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got good hands from that standpoint.
Only on Seattle Sports.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's one tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most, after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort.
Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Save $2 when you buy 2 cans of Superior Products Coverall Tire Dressing. Plus, get 4 times O-Rewards points now at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With Smart Business Buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners open a series against the Braves today. Atlanta is one of the hottest teams in baseball, winning 8 of their last 10. They're going to be without Ronald Acuna Jr., though. He's on the 10-day IL. Seattle could be without Cal Raleigh. We haven't gotten the lineup. We're also still waiting to see how many days he needs off with side soreness. Yesterday, Dan Wilson said an IL stint has not been ruled out. That series starts tonight at 6:40 p.m. with a 5:30 p.m. pregame show. Logan Gilbert on the mound.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. It's been a fun show. We're having too much fun and talking about something not fun. So it sounds like I'm not taking this seriously, but I very much am. How are the Mariners? What are the Mariners' biggest issues right now? That's how we started the show. I don't want to rehash too much of that conversation. We also all already know our own answers, though there are somewhat different ones. Bump, you felt like it was a mix of things.
It was just not being consistent. We've talked about it, right? It's about Wu struggling and then figuring out and then going out bad. It's Castillo sitting down the first 6 and then kind of falling apart. Is Emerson sitting down 14, but the offense not helping him out.
You said no complete games ever.
It's Randy making a diving catch in the outfield and getting caught up on the bases. It's Julio hitting 2 bombs and then letting a fly ball go by him. It's just you can't get these things rolling yet. They're not connecting the dots. They're not consistent quite yet. It's always something different every game.
I wondered if their biggest issue would be injuries, especially with Cal being out right now. Donovan is still out. Bryce Miller is out. Luis Castillo looked better, though we'd been talking about, kind of like, oh, gosh, this isn't looking great. But as of this past weekend series and certainly yesterday, I think I settled on defense. If the defense was better, I think I'd feel okay overall with the bats taking a minute to cool up. I have seen a struggling Mariners offense still try to be very competitive. Now they're going to need to be better, but I don't think that Cal's going to hover around 200 all season. Mm-hmm. I think that Julio can have a really special year. I truly believe those things. Defense concerns me more, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because there's no easy fix, and it's because I don't really know what the answer to struggling defense is. Shannon Dreyer was on with Brock and Salk this morning, and they asked Shannon, tell us about where the defense is right now.
They have 3 players that are in the bottom 15 on the outs above average right now. And this is a team that they need that defense for the pitching. So, I would be a little more concerned about this than the injuries at this point. And this is more controllable, I feel, than the injuries are. I think that some of it is expectations and not being there and struggles. I think that when you are struggling in some areas, the defense can take a hit.
3 guys, bottom 15 and outs above average. Shannon saying this is a bigger issue than injuries right now. Like maybe if Cal were to have some season-ending surgery, you could be like, oh, shoot, like this is clearly their biggest problem. Nope. Right now, it's something that is frustrating and also like maybe fixable. So one more here, Bump. Shannon talked about, what do you do?
They put in the work. We see that every day, particularly with the infielders. They have a very regimented routine that they do every day. And Perry Hill works with them all very closely. But I do think that at times there can be a mental aspect to the defense. And I think that some of the results and what we're seeing, and it's chicken and egg. Well, you play better defense, you win more games, you feel better about it, and maybe you're a little bit more on your game right now. But I do think that a lot of the struggles that we saw early have contributed. They've taken it out to the field.
I thought that was interesting, this idea of like, naturally as fans, you just go like, work harder, right? How many times do we watch a football game? Throw it, run harder, just do that, hit the ball. But she said, like, they put in the work, but sometimes there's a mental aspect to defense. So when a team struggles, you do wonder if it's mental.
Looking at Baseball Savant, I guess out of the 241 players that qualify for outs above average, you got, so out of 241, you got JP at 232. You have Donovan at 233. And surprise, surprise, Julio at 223.
That is a surprise and a disappointing one.
Very disappointing. Then you have Naylor at 167. Too many names near the bottom of this thing over here. But that's a tough pill to swallow because you feel like they should be making these plays. Donovan, I understand. All right, a position that he typically has not played.
Sure.
It's an adjustment. I get it.
I also give a pass to Randy, whose defense has never been great.
He don't get a pass. That's the position he plays. If it ain't great, it just ain't great.
Okay.
Donovan, I'm like, you never been there. Randy's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Okay.
It is what it is, but
that's how I think about Randy. It is what it is.
Surprising is Julio.
Yes.
And you mentioned to start the show that Cole Young's kind of been holding it down. He's been probably the best defensive player that you guys have had. Do you give JP a pass because a late start, or do you think that he should be moving and grooving right now?
Moving and grooving.
Yeah.
Yeah. JP is kind of one of those where sometimes he'll do something and I'll almost feel happy for him. You know, you've got this number 1 prospect from the Mariners right behind you, breathing over your shoulder, and you want to be a professional and a good teammate and help that guy along, but you also know that his success means the end of yours. And so every time he makes a great play, I'm like, good for you, JP. But sometimes there's just ones where I'm like, man, the age is showing a little bit here.
Shortstop is a young man's position, you know? I mean, and I would assume that JP feels that heat, that pressure coming. He knows that eventually he's going to be the guy. It's a matter of time. Like, it's going to happen. So when you play with that pressure and that stress and your body's not performing the way that you're used to perform, you feel it. Man, I feel stressed out guarding my 15-year-old on the basketball court. I'm like, I got to give him space because I ain't moving the way that I used to. I got to body him up because I'm not as quick. You make these adjustments in your head, and that's just me playing against my son. Like, imagine being out there on the grand stage knowing that your replacement is just waiting to take your spot, and you're not reacting the way that you used to. That's how you know your athleticism is going down. When you can't react the way you used to, like I'm scared to put my foot in the ground real quick and give a burst. I'm like, I ain't trying to tear my Achilles. You know, like
yeah.
So these guys are in great shape, and you feel that as well. So it's stressful for JP, and it's stressful for everyone. I mean, Julio. There's a couple times now that knuckleball that was hit the other day, like last week, I get him having to adjust and miss that. But there are a couple players where I'm like, hey, you got to track that, baby. Come on.
There are kind of like 3 things I've accepted / am watching for here. Number one, there are some guys that are just not going to be great defenders. Maybe Donovan at third because he's new. Randy because he's just not like an amazing defender. That you hope they're maybe a veteran presence or bats make up for it. If every single player on your roster was excellent on defense and an amazing bat, you'd be the Dodgers. You would have the most expensive team in baseball because you'd have nothing but all-stars. You just have to make sacrifices somewhere to accept that there's plus added somewhere else. So if Randy's bat, which is one of Seattle's better right now, but like if his bat and Donovan's were excellent, you'd be like, all right, I can accept that. I can accept defensive questions because there's more offense from this team.
Mm-hmm.
The offense isn't there. Now, Donovan isn't here, obviously, but the offense is not here from the team. Bad defense is a harder pill to swallow when you're not hitting because you kind of think that that's going to be the trade-off. With Julio, he is typically really great at center. One thing that I just think has to be true about his season is you just need to get better. I'm not expecting Randy to become an amazing best outfielder you've ever seen. That's not an expectation I think is fair. I'm expecting Julio to improve. He needs to improve. The expectation is there and it's fair.
Almost wish Randy didn't make that diving play. You know what I mean? Because it's like
athletic.
You showed me something, and then I watch you misjudge a ball going over your head and do a little jump that reminds me of my children jumping through the sprinklers at summertime. You know, it's so up and down with him. But with Julio, he does any better. In the batter's box, he had a decent series, right? He didn't do bad there. It's just defensively, it's the first time where he looked like, because remember where he made himself a center fielder, right? They wanted to put him in the corner. He was like, no, I want to be a center fielder.
He was initially going to be a catcher when he was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
So we put in all that work. You become a center fielder. You become an all-star. And you're allowed to have your moments, but it seems like they've been too close.
Yeah.
Right? Like a couple series in a row, he's had a couple moments where I'm like, you probably should be able to track that ball better.
Yes. So I think you and I are on the same page in terms of like, there are some guys where you just accept it and the bats are better, so you are fine with it.
Mm-hmm.
There are some guys where you don't accept it because the expectation is fairly higher. That's Julio. And then there are guys when I wonder if I need to change my expectation or if the Mariners will change something, and that's JP.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third thing. If the Mariners are fine with JP and maybe we're being nitpicky, nothing happens. But, like, what if they make a decision that, hey, you know, we know it might be awkward for everyone, but, like, we need to improve defensively. We're going to get a younger, more athletic guy there. I'm not saying they need to make that. I'm saying that that's kind of its own separate category. Because my expectations for JP's defense weren't low when he was physically in his prime. He's just not there anymore. So my expectations have changed. So that makes it different than Julio, right? But then does that mean that my new expectations are enough?
Here's the thing with JP is that Emerson's performance can buy him time, right? If they don't feel like Emerson is ready to come in right now and be that guy, I haven't looked at his numbers as of late. But I remember last week, he was struggling a little bit, right? He was on not a slump, but he wasn't as hot as he was to start the season in the batter's box. Defensively, I'm not sure where he is. And that's more of the natural thing is playing defense, right? Young guys can come in and just be fine. There's really what you're seeing in the box. His progression or lack of can buy JP some time. So JP had a late start to the season. Maybe he's warming up. You know, my knees feel better these days, Stacey, because it's warm outside. All right, so he's warming up and maybe get into his groove and kind of hold the young man off. So there's still time for JP, but the more he struggles, the more the Mariners are going to look at the youngster and say, is he ready? As of late, he's had some struggles. So it's a day-by-day, actually like a series-by-series kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you got to be careful with Emerson.
You've been an athlete. When people say, like, oh, maybe he's in his head, what are they talking about?
That's
so,
a
like,
real thing.
You know what I mean? If someone's saying, like, well, maybe part of the issue with the Mariners is mental. Yeah, that can be mental mistakes.
Yeah.
Randy forgetting what the count is. But, like, what does it also mean to have lots of mental mistakes defensively? Like, how are you in your head?
I dropped a punt one time, muffed it, and the defense held him to 3. I was like, thank God. After that, for a week, punts became so hard for me. So hard. I'm like, I'm still catching them, but I don't feel the same. I'm second-guessing myself now. Then after a couple weeks, I was fine. I got back to my normal self. So imagine if you are anybody out there. Julio's probably fine because he's younger. He just believes in himself. But a guy like JP, like you make a step, you can't get there. I mean, he made a play last game but couldn't make the throw to first base just because of the way his body was. Maybe he's thinking, man, I used to just get up and get my feet, boom, get that thing over there. So you're thinking about what you've done and where you are now and how you're feeling. So now you're less likely to take the risk. You know, you're less likely to put yourself in a position to fail because you just don't want to fail anymore. So that's when they're talking about in your head is believing that you can still execute physically the way that you have in the past. But there comes a time where the body just don't work like that. And I'm not saying JP is there. Obviously, there's been some decline. He's not a young man anymore. But the mental can accelerate that process if you just don't believe that you can do it.
253, we talked about kind of those three different things of like with some guys, the expectations are low because we want just great offense. Donovan, Randy. With some guys, the expectations are high and should be. Julio. With other guys, the expectations have changed. So what does it mean? JP. Love the conversation. A question from a listener. I just don't get it. So the Mariners trade for Donovan, who's an all-star second baseman. Then we ask him to play a different position. He can hit, no question. But come on, man. What are we doing?
You're giving room. Look, that's why you got Donovan, though, because he can play multiple positions. You felt like you had your second baseman already in Cole Young. Hey, we're going to give this guy a chance. Cole Young came in as a shortstop at first. Now he moved to second base. You're not going to bring in Cole Young and put him at JP's spot. JP moves to shortstop. You have your succession plan already ready to go. So you bring in Donovan just for that flexibility. And Cole Young is holding it down at second base. So now what do you want to do? You want to move Cole Young to third base, a position he hasn't played? Heck no. Donovan, you're a professional. You've been in this league for a while. They're banking on the experience of this veteran, getting him through these lumps that he's in right now.
Yeah, I think also it's not that the Mariners were thinking Cole Young would be abysmal, but the conversations that all of us were having before the season started on and off air were, all right, if Cole Young doesn't work out, you can put Donovan there, or you can move JP, and then you can have Colt come in and, you know, maybe he's third, maybe he's short, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, the versatility felt like a plus because Cole Young still felt like a question mark.
It was a plus.
So it was kind of like, well, you have questions in right and at second. Oh, this guy can do both of those things. Now, I would have loved, like, everyday third baseman, fantastic. But, like, for what was still available and for what this team was willing to spend, as far as a trade, I liked the move. But, like, we were not heading into the season being super confident about second base and right field. No. And Donovan gave you some flex there.
Exactly. And you knew you had Colt waiting. Like, all right. But things have changed. Cole has been stellar. Donovan is probably not where you wanted him to be. And him being hurt doesn't help the situation. And then JP looks like he's lost a step or two. But I still think there's room for JP to kind of find his groove and get back into it.
All right. Hype Train coming up at 1:30. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. That's coming up at 1:45. Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 Down Territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. No, this is mean. This is just mean. Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the Cowboys, obviously called out his rookies. He said, none of these guys are in great shape. But why aren't you surprised?
I'm not surprised because when you're training for your first training for the NFL is not for football, it's for combine, it's for drills, straight line drills. Run my 40, L, shuttle, broad jump, vert. You're in great shape, but you're not in football shape. Football shape is not played in straight lines. So you might run straight lines at times, but you're shuffling, you're reacting, you're moving, and the intensity is it just can't be duplicated when you're training for the combine. So it doesn't surprise me that some of these guys aren't in the shape that he wanted to be. Me personally, I was in good shape. Mike Macdonald said that he has tapered back practice, though. I think because he's going off of what his rookies are giving him. He understands that these guys probably had like a week or two to try to get themselves into football shape. That's not going to happen. That's why you have rookie mini camps and OTAs and all that stuff, because it's a progression. If you ask a football team to get together for a month and go play football, it ain't gonna work that way. Guys are gonna get banged up. That's why you have all these other training sessions. So, listen, maybe it's on you, Shotty. Shouty? Sound like I said shouty.
I know.
Maybe it's on you, and you're pushing these guys too hard because you feel the pressure of wearing that star every single day going to practice.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not surprised, but I'm sure there are guys who aren't chipped, though.
Second down. Talk about a Seahawks rookie. How does Bo Stevens bring even more value to the team after rookie camp?
So in college, he played left and right guard, more right guard than left. So I just assumed they'd put him there, maybe put Haynes at the left guard and just see what happens. But after rookie minicamp, it sounds like he's getting reps at both right guard and left guard. And the more he can do on the football field, the better. Now he needs to get on field goal block, whatever it is, just to stay relevant. He's going to be relevant. They picked him for a reason. But this allows you some versatility. Ray Zabel goes down, you can go there. You can go with Bo. If something happens to the right side, Anthony Bradford, you can go there. It's if Bo gets to start at right guard and then something happens on the left side, you can pull Anthony Bradford back and move him to the left side. It's just you can move pieces around. You would like for guys to have your solid five the whole year. We've been fortunate enough a couple years to have that happen for the most part. But no, this is how you stay on the football field, is you continue to bring value. But what this does is it puts pressure on Christian Haynes. It puts pressure on Oluwatimi as well, because they haven't been able to crack the code and get on the football field. And like I mentioned before, when you draft guys, you want to see what they can do right now. I guarantee they're looking at Olu and Christian Haynes and saying, I think we know what they can do. We'll set them up, but let's see what this young guy can do first. That's the advantage of being a young draft pick, is they will put you out there if you're a higher draft pick. And I think Bo Stevens is here for a reason. So, yeah, right guard, left guard, keep doing your thing. Stay relevant. The more you can do, good for you. Bars. Third down.
What does Jalen Milroe being a part of the run game actually look like?
A lot of people are clipping this and posting it on IG and Twitter and all that. And we talked to Bob about it a little bit too. This don't mean that he's going to get like 10 to 15 snaps a game. I'm thinking he gets like 20 to 25 on the year. There's got to be certain situations, certain personnel, like when you're looking at defense, where they feel like they can exploit. We saw him out there last year, and he just didn't look comfortable, right? He hiked the football, he's fumbling and all that good stuff, and then we didn't see him again. So after going through a year of the offseason, filling the NFL game for however you can in practice or whatnot, it just means that he'll be back there every now and then, and he'll break off a run. I think they'll even let him throw the football, too. We'll see what he does in preseason. Preseason is going to be big for Jalen Milroe. So what does it look like? This isn't high school or college where you're bringing your gadget quarterback and you let him go for a series. Ain't going to happen like that. I give him 20 to 25 plays throughout the year, and what he does with that determines how much more he gets. They're not going to keep forcing him. If he can't handle it, he doesn't look comfortable, they're not going to keep going to him. But I think it is important that you do see what you have in Jalen Milroe.
Fourth down. Anything stand out from our interview with Bob Condotta?
Yeah, I thought it was encouraging. He said Julian Neal looked great. I think he's going to compete with Josh Jobe. He's going to compete with Nehemiah Pritchett over there. And it's important that you get some solid looks with this guy, because he's a big corner. You just don't have that on your football team right now. Your biggest corner left, but he wasn't as he didn't have the mass that Julian Neal had. That's encouraging. He thinks with Bob said he thinks Fuller has a good chance to play nickel and corner. Said the same thing with Bo. Do more. Get on the football field. If you can handle two positions, you go ahead and do that. And you get on special teams. He needs to be a gunner. He needs to be an R1 and R2. He needs to be on punt block. Remember, we got who blocked that punt? Against the 49ers a couple years back. Blocked the punt, and then I think Reek scooped and scored. Or did Reek block the punt and someone else scooped and scored? Anyway, you got to be able to rush off the edge on field goal block. Just keep doing more. So the fact that Bob already thinks that he can play two positions, he's starting off on the right foot. And then Eastern. See what Eastern can do. They signed Peely. You have Jay Reed. You have Byron Murphy. If he can get himself in that rotation, play 10 to 15 snaps, get on special teams, we'll see. So those are the three names I'll be looking at, man. Is Fuller, Eastern. I'm sorry, two names. Fuller and Eastern, and then hopefully the development of Neal continues.
Was that the one? It was like week 2 on the road against San Francisco. Yeah. Gino was still quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I think they lost because the offense the offense was like shut down.
Yep.
And didn't do much of anything.
Who was it?
I don't want to look it up because I want the satisfaction of being able to remember it. Matt, surely you know. Matt hasn't been listening at all.
There has to be.
Because if I remember correctly, that was like one of the only good things for Seattle in that game.
I think you're right.
I think I know who it is, just off the top of my head.
Off the top of your head, do you promise, or did you look it up?
I didn't. You can ask Matt. There's nothing looked up on my screen.
Okay.
Mike Jackson.
Mike Jackson.
Brady, I think
so
you're
Reek
right.
blocked it and Mike Jackson scored.
Or Mike
Jackson. Or the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, Brady, I think you got it.
Yeah, I think he is right.
That was Gino's first year as a starter? No. Second year? First year as a starter. My memories of that game are week 2, San Francisco, and then they were talking about we got to unleash the offense a little bit more and let Gino, basically like we got to let Gino cook. I want to say it was week 1 Broncos win, then you go on the road against San Francisco and lose.
It was 27-7 that game.
Yeah, and that was it.
You had Mike Jackson returned it. It was a blocked field goal.
Good job,
Mike
Brady.
Jackson
I'm proud
returned
of
it.
you.
Yep.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Okay.
We figured it out.
We had to solve it on air, simply. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Get your questions in for what I need to know. Any question, sports, non-sports, doesn't matter. Text it right now, 866-979-3776. Hype Train coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
The Seahawks end up with 8 picks.
Every afternoon at 2.
They went in with 4, turned them into 8. What'd you think?
It did sort of align with what they needed. I love the first-round pick. I would just give John an A for hanging around until 32 to take Jadarian Price.
They could use it. They could use it with the uncertainty surrounding certainly Charbonnet and or McIntosh, if he's even going to be part of it.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
I saw her texting, coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Frank Lumber, the door store, has some exciting news. After 6 long years, our Marysville store will be reopening this Memorial Day, May 25th. Our regular hours will be Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But on Monday, Memorial Day, May 25th, we will be celebrating our grand reopening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by for a hot dog and pop and see the thousands of doors and discounted specials. Visit us this Memorial Day at Frank Lumber in Marysville on Cedar Avenue. We'll see you there.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Yay to Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Are you an HVAC professional in Western Washington? UA Local 32 offers industry-leading pay, advanced training at a state-of-the-art facility, and retirement benefits you can count on. For 135 years, they've had your back. Start building your future at ualocal32.com.
Olympic has the perfect way to celebrate spring. A hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. Through May 10th, you'll save thousands on the perfect wellness solution for your home. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
They say teachers don't impact for a year, but for a lifetime. Hi, this is Rick Riz. Join WSECU, your local credit union, as we celebrate those who give so much with the Teacher of the Week program. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. Each week throughout the season, we'll honor one teacher with a $500 grant, courtesy of WSECU. Teachers are the real MVPs. Find out more and nominate a teacher at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. And if you've been dreaming of that new deck, you got to get a hold of PCF. Call them before the great weather arrives and their schedule gets totally filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round no matter what the weather brings. And for a limited time, how about this? Get 50% off demolition costs up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we love it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, and construction can take a little time, so get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and look at all the offer details at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
What I need to know coming up in 15 minutes. Get those questions in 866-979-3776. Anything top of mind after today's show where you're like, hey, I was wondering. Right now, let's head to the station for Hype Train. Seahawks are featured on Hard Knocks. Congrats, Seahawks. Now, I will be combing training camp looking for these HBO cameras because I'm obsessed with attention. But I think someone else is going to be the star, someone who actually matters and is actually a player. Bud Clark will be the star of Hard Knocks.
The star, I think he'll be a star. I think he'll be a supporting actor. But I think you have to go with the guys who've been here. It's going to be Spoon and JSN will be the stars. Because Spoon is going to be loud, getting lots of reps to start. JSN coming off the year that he had is going to be the complete opposite, calm and collected. And they're going to battle it out. So I think Bud will be there. I think Bud will have one of those roles where he hops into the scene and kills it and kind of fades away a little bit because they're going to focus on the stars. So Nah, he'll be A-star. So I don't think I'm on the train. I'm kind of on the train.
You think it'll be a veteran? You think it'll be someone already here, like a Devin Witherspoon?
No, it's Spoon and JSN.
You think they'll be the stars?
I think they'll be the
JSN?
stars. Yeah.
I don't think JSN is the most famous and talented, but he's not like a.
You ain't seen him in.
I haven't.
In that mode.
But are we gonna see that version?
Yeah, I think like follow him on social media. I don't know if you do or not. When you get him in the right setting, he will talk. He gonna do it in his way, calm. You know what I'm saying? But he will talk to you.
Okay.
Who you
Certified
think?
yapper. I think it's gonna. Well, I mean, Bud Clark is a great candidate. I think there are two versions of stars on Hard Knocks. One is the biggest, funniest personality that has the quotable moments where you're like, oh my God, I love this guy when he's on camera, and the cameras find that guy. That's why I think Bud Clark, Devin Witherspoon, those kinds of guys are candidates there. Or it is the guy trying to make the roster where you fall in love with his story and root for him. And that's where it's like an Andre Fuller, right? Where the cameras are going to be. The stars of Hard Knocks are sometimes guys that don't make the team.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm looking at like an Andre Fuller of like, maybe he does, but like a story where people are going to be rooting for him. Brady, what about you? So I'll say I'm aboard this train. Bud Clark.
He's a narc? He telling?
You're right.
Snitching on her? No.
Bud Clark will be the star of Hard Knocks.
It's just like what you guys were saying. It's hard to tell because it's going to be the funny guy, and it's going to be the guys that you already know, like JSN, Sam Darnold, all the names in there. I don't think he's going to be the big main guy. I think he can be a guy. I just don't think he's going to be the main. I put that towards JSN.
Okay.
I need you to have an original thought, okay? Don't be coming on here saying exactly what I said, okay?
Next up.
Brady low-key mad at me right now. You see his face? He low-key was like, if he could, he would say, bump. You know what I'm saying?
Your mic's just magically going to turn off and not come back on.
How dare you?
Oh, man. Brady
The
was not messing with
Mariners
me.
will not get swept by the Braves.
No, they're not going to get swept by the Braves.
You're boarding
because
this train.
I'm on the train. Wu has the third start, I want to say? Does Wu have the third start? You know, Brady?
I know Logan has the first, so would it be Logan, Kirby?
Then Wu.
Yeah, all right. So, worst case, Wu's going to hold it down. He's going to get that bounce back game. And let's go get it. No sweep.
The Mariners will not get swept by the Braves. Brady.
There's no chance we're getting swept by the Braves. I'm joining this train. I mean, what are the odds that all three of our top three pitchers don't have a great outing?
You know what? Let's go ahead and bring it back to me, Brady. Not only do the Mariners not get swept by the Braves, so I'm boarding this train. The Mariners sweep the Braves.
Wow.
Like heavily? Like one-run games
I
or
didn't say
blowouts?
that. I didn't say that.
Hey, we messed up.
What do you mean?
AJ Barner's going to be a star in Hard Knocks.
Oh, my God. You're
949 pointed that out. It's AJ Barner.
You know what? 949 is exactly right.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's AJ Barner.
I was unfamiliar with your game. Yeah, you are right. A weird tight end
Yes.
with fashion
Yeah.
who dances
Yeah.
and says things.
And says things.
He's funny.
He is.
Okay, yes. It's going to be AJ Barner.
AJ Barner.
Wow, 949, you called it.
Karen, I see you. You're just late, Karen. You're just late.
Next up, we will see Cal back on the field by Friday. This would mean no IL
next
stint.
series. The next series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, be out there. He's going to rehab. He's going to do everything he has to do. Cal's a hard worker. Yeah, and even if Cal's the type of dude, too, that he could be 85% and be like, yeah, I'm good to go. So, yeah, I think we're going to see him on this train.
I mean, this hype train is basically there's no IL stint for Cal, or there is. We will see Cal back on the field by Friday. Brady.
Well, I'm sorry. I got to think of an original thought real quick because I can't agree with Bump.
You can agree.
You got it.
But, you know, I'm rent-free right now.
You
Yes, I think we're going to see him by the end of the week. They might be downplaying it a little bit right now because they're not 100% sure, but I don't think this is going to result in an IL stint that's going to be super long.
What's weird is they downplayed it too much Saturday night, which then upplayed it.
Yeah.
Saturday night, I was like, Cal's done. Like, he's cooked. He's going to have season-ending surgery.
He's got the catcher version of Tommy John.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he has Tommy John. Is his UCL okay? Like, they tried to downplay it too much to where when they were like, oh, some side soreness. We got imaging. He feels better. You're like, oh. Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's not horrible. Yeah, I'm boarding this one as well. Next up, sticking with the Mariners, Edgar gets a statue. Ken gets a statue. Ichiro gets a statue. Randy gets a statue. Felix deserves a statue.
Felix, he's going to the Huff, isn't he? The Hall of Fame.
We shall see. I think he
Ray,
could.
you think he's going in?
I think he could. He'll need a week class, late.
To the Hall of Fame? Yes, I think he's going to get in.
Yeah.
It's not going to be on the next ballot or maybe even the next couple ballots. He's going to have to wait for a week pitcher class and towards the end of his eligibility.
Yes.
Dang. He's going to be, what, 50 when he gets in?
Does he get in?
Yeah, he's in. He's in. Was that the hype train he gets in?
No.
Oh.
Felix deserves What are you doing? I'm like looking at
where's your original thought?
That's my argument towards the statue, because that was my thing.
I'm looking at you passing on another train going, you're on the wrong train. No, Felix deserves a statue.
Yeah, he will. He does. He does deserve a statue. I'm on that. Eventually, he deserves a statue. Not tomorrow. Not tomorrow.
When I was a kid, we almost boarded the wrong, because this is how airports were. Brady, you don't remember this. We almost boarded the wrong plane to where it was like
You were on the plane?
Yes.
How'd you get on the plane?
I don't remember. I was a kid.
How'd you get on the plane?
I was a kid. My mom worked for the airline, so I don't remember.
They just waved her through. Like,
you know what? Or maybe it was like we were at the gate walking on. I remember. I have a memory of walking down the little air tunnel. I can't remember it, but that's you boarding that train. Felix deserves a statue is the hype train. Brady, are you boarding?
I am going to board this train, and when they do build his statue, they're going to do it in his perfect game. Little stance where he's pointing at the sky.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Someone asked if they ever build a Cal statue, like TBD what happens with this era of the Mariners, but like best case scenario, Cal ends up being best catcher you've had, whatever. What would it be, catching or whatever? I think it would be specifically the silhouette of the swing in that A's game.
To clinch the postseason
I
berth.
think that's what it would be. No matter how many years down the road that would be, and this all still isn't. It wouldn't happen no matter what. It's
an iconic moment in Seattle sports history.
Yes, it would be pending Cal still doing a lot, but I think that would be it.
Yeah.
He has to get there, but we already have the pose ready to go.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's the pose. He has to then earn the actual statue. Same with Julio, same with anyone. But I think Felix has, so I'm boarding this train. And you're so right. That's exactly what it should be. That's a hard statue to build.
Especially after the Ichiro bat, they got to put some effort into that one.
He's wearing a T-shirt too, right? Won't be able to see the uniform. He's wearing a yellow shirt, right? In that pose?
It's
on the mound when he threw his perfect game.
He lifts up, so he's just cemented the perfect game, and he looks up and he does this kind of like
I thought
and he lifts his knee a little bit.
I thought you were talking about when he's in front of the.
Oh, he's posing in front of the King Court,
and he spins when he's like that. Yes, that's exactly what it's going to be, Brady. You're right. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. 866-979-3776.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey everybody, it's Bob Selton here, and if you're somebody dealing with joint pain, this will be of interest to you. Wednesday, May 13th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the entire country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Join his free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, May 13th. You can register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Chase Ink Business Premier Card is made for people who make things happen, like me. I'm Sam, founder and CEO of Manifest, a product design company that makes everyday products designed smarter. I get 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more, plus unlimited 2% cash back on all other purchases, which helps us make more smart ideas into a brilliant reality.
The Ink Business Premier Card. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. N.A. member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Mariners and Braves tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman speaking to those who have recently been diagnosed with prostate cancer. I spoke with Dr. Meyer, the medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center, and Dr. Meyer said Swedish CyberKnife patients are really satisfied with their experience. They report very few side effects, and they're seeing excellent cancer control 10 years later. To learn more, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate or call 206-320-7187.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. Improve your play with 40% off installation or 0% financing for 16 months with equal payments. And we're giving back with 2 $5,000 scholarships for our local youth sports teams. Upgrade your home today at PellaPNW.com.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. We had been talking a lot about the Derby, and you always talk about golf. Mm-hmm. So someone sent in 3 questions as one.
Okay.
Curtis isn't here, but they said, 1, has Bump ever ridden a horse? 2, has Curtis ever played golf? And 3, has Stacy ever shotgunned a beer?
I've ridden a horse before.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes to 1. Mm-hmm. Has Curtis played golf? Yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you guys have maybe talked about it.
Yeah.
Have I shotgunned a beer? No.
No.
How'd you answer before I
Because
did?
I know. I don't want to shot. Oh, my God. You shotgunning a beer is the equivalent to me drinking like 3 shots of 151 right off that. Bow, bow, bow. You be over there stumbling through the party.
Star Wars fan, says the 206. If so, which movie is your favorite? All 3 of us, including Brady, just turned to look at Matt.
It's
Matt?
the one thing I can actually contribute to today's show.
Can
I'd
you
say.
rank the movies from like absolute best to worst?
I can.
Quickly, very
Do you want
quickly.
to subject the listeners to that?
Yeah, if you can do it in 15 seconds.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back, Rogue One, New Hope.
Rogue One number 2 is crazy.
I love Rogue One.
It should
so
be number
much.
1.
It's such an amazing movie. Doesn't get enough credit. Revenge of the Sith, The Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi. I'm not the biggest fan of Episode 6, if I'm being honest.
That's fine.
And then, gosh, what's left? Oh, Solo. I didn't hate as much as everyone else did.
Same.
Oh no, you know what? The Last Jedi above Solo, then Solo.
What's
And
the
then the
third?
bottom 3 are just tough.
what's-
I have nostalgia for
You know what's
Phantom
crazy?
Menace and Attack of the Clones.
That's exactly my
That's
list.
same list that we have.
Exact
See,
same
me and
list.
Bump, we're simpatico.
866-979-3776. Do you think Diego Pavia has a better chance at a career as a horse jockey rather than an NFL quarterback?
Nah, he's
Come
too
on
thick.
now.
That boy thick.
He's also too tall. Jockeys have to be like 5'1".
Uh-huh.
But I'm too tall to be a jockey.
They're not.
Okay. Again. I didn't like the tone.
Don't lie to our listeners.
I'm taller than 5'1".
Are you?
Yes.
No, you're not.
I've been measured by a doctor. Yes, I am.
Not your uncle at the barbecue with the tape measure?
I can make
It's official?
money off of this right now.
Okay.
Who would be the star of Seattle sports radio version of Hard Knocks? They added Stacy. You cannot say Stacy.
It probably would be Stacey because she would be searching that camera out. You know when
I'd be the most hated.
she'd be standing there in line like for a drill, side-eyeing to make sure the camera's like over there. Like, is it over there? Is it over there? Okay,
no.
turn on. Let's go.
You know who it would be? Matt. And I mean that sincerely. Matt would become the star of Hard Knocks because he wouldn't care, and I think that viewers would think it was funny that this guy working at a sports radio station didn't care at all.
I would refuse to sign the waiver, and they would have to blur my face and distort my voice whenever I saw
And
it.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What I need to know. Does it ruin y'all's day after your team loses like it does for us normies?
Like if the Mariners lose? Nah, it doesn't ruin my day. Now you get into July, August, and things
That's
start
tough.
getting a little tight, and I'm like, all right. But right now, nah, I'm good.
It makes the day tougher.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, like, if you weren't a sports radio host, you'd be talking about your team with your friends. You'd be talking about, so it's exactly that.
Yeah.
What's the best month in Seattle weather-wise? Great question from Isaac
Best
Everett.
month. Man, I'm going to go with
Power rank 3.
Power Rank. All right, let's go. End of May to start.
Great answer.
Because it's like, all right, I see it. We're getting into this thing. Then I'm going to go August, September.
August is too hot for me. I'm going to go power rank number 1, June, number 2, September, number 3 is going to be May. July and August for me personally. Beautiful. It's sunny every day, but it gets a little too hot.
Too hot.
Yeah. But like you can be on a boat in May, June, September.
Yeah.
You can be on an ARC boat.
Hey.
ARCboats.com/demo.
Hey, EV, or they're electric?
They are electric.
They are electric.
Yeah.
She's been doing that read for like 3 months now. Have you never once listened?
No, I'm trying to set her up.
Chat GPT.
You know how this works?
Hang on. Someone said Chat GPT says Stacy is 5 feet tall. Let me open up Chat. I'm gonna be livid.
No
Does Chat
way.
GPT how does Chat GPT know who you are? How tall is
Because
Stacy Ross?
You're on the internet.
I'm gonna be livid. Oh, because it just told me. how tall I am. It said you are 5'2".
You're about to lose it. You're like, how does it? Oh my God. You're like, he's talking to me because it's your phone.
I was like, how does it know?
You should have seen her face. She was like, the world is over. AI's taking over.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh, they're stalking me. What I need to know, they said it's a respectable Star Wars. You get a tissue. Why are you crying?
The look on your face. Oh my God.
You laughing is making me laugh harder.
Oh man. All right, I gotta get it together. 2 more minutes.
Will Max Crosby ever play for a team other than the Rams?
No, he won't. He's locked in for life.
Okay, let me end normally here. What I need to know. Matt, someone said you'd be Ron Swanson. I don't know about that.
No, I don't have that gravitas. I appreciate it, but no.
Yeah.
I ain't got that dog in me.
What I need to know. God, I'm getting a lot of Star Wars questions. Sorry, Matt, but I am filtering. I am filtering.
Open the
through
gates.
them. I'm so sorry. Most addictive retro video game. Answer to that one. I'm so
I will
sorry.
play Tetris forever. I don't know. I'm addicted. And Galaga.
Yeah.
Galaga.
425. Why don't they move Cole Young up in the batting order? We've gotten this one a couple times.
Talked about it last week. They were like, who's going to hit at the bottom? You know? And who you replacing? Are you back? You're back.
I can't stop. I don't know why.
You were scared. You were legit scared.
I really was scared. I was like, how does my phone know?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
You know, when the Mariners are playing like this, all you can do is laugh.
You got to clip this. I need this.
No, don't tell Kyle.
I need this.
Don't tell Kyle it happened. He could never know.
Come on, get some 54 so we can go, man. I can't do this.
Okay. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. If you're dealing with ED, I know what happens. You start trying the miracle supplement online or those pills sitting next to the energy drinks at the corner store. If there's one thing I've learned in life, cheaper is rarely better. ED and Peyronie's disease are a major problem with few real solutions. You don't need a gas station pill. You need medical-grade technology to fix your problems. At West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to treat the root cause. No pills, no shots, no surgery. Real equipment, real staff, and real results. Stop wasting money on things that don't work. It's time to end the frustration and the long nights. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or low T, we can help. Call West Coast Men's Health today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Hello, my friends. It's DeGraws here, encouraging you to golf local. Our region is blessed with a ton of golf that isn't very expensive and can accommodate all types of skill levels. Check out the premier courses at Bellevue, Bill Wright, Cedar Crest, Interbay, Jackson Park, Lake Patton, Legion Memorial, Linwood, or Walter Hall. You know, wherever you are in Western Washington, you're not far from a premier course. Why not book a tee time online or play Top Tracer at the range at Interbay, Bill Wright, and Jackson Park? So what are you waiting for? Play the courses. Play Premier.
I'm Stacey Rost, and here with my friend Mark Clymer, GM of Wayscar Ford, Isuzu in Auburn. Mark, I know for me, when I go to a dealership, I just don't want to feel pushed into buying something.
Hey, I'm just like you, Stacey. I don't want to feel pressured when I'm trying to buy something either. So we understand that, and so do all of our employees. The bottom line is we'll give you the information that you want. We'll take care of you from beginning to end, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, we understand. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one.
I think the thing that I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. It's a huge investment, and I got to be honest, I don't know a ton about cars.
Second largest thing most people ever buy next to a home. So You're right. You want to make sure you're buying from a reputable place. You want a warranty, and you want to make sure you're covered for any reason you change your mind. And we offer that 5 days or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee.
And congratulations on 104 years in Auburn. That's a big deal. Check out the 104th anniversary sale going on now with great prices. That's Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com.